zato, ker se fucking lahko. Jesus Christ, poser.
Lirični umor, sem ti disan nisi pisu. Lirični zamor, ker sem slišal, da boš disu. Psihični premor, ker sem nehal ga poslušat. Sam pač ti si nor, ker si probal mene pluvat. Probat sem ti pustil, pa si šanso vzej za pravo. Ogi tis, kaj na tvojem usko stavu. Dobo dis, zdaj se tipe kar popravo. Dobo fiks, iz krvi ne bo zaplavo. Hotel si boj, zdaj začel sem jaz vojno. Upopom vse to pomeni do za trojno. Ti si tok reper, ka Arking je dvojno. Arking je reper, fuck to je bolno. Ti bi mene učil repat, aha. Smešen mene to zakrepant, aha. Reščem svete probi sedat, aha. Zdaj uničil bom jaz tebe, tvoj gang zdaj vsak za sebe. Jaz vas disam, men se jebe, se ne grizam v samede. Ne se skrimi, ko me žene, da razbijam vas iz ene. Počem enkrat tebe zjebe, počem drugi se razjebe. Pa sam počem še tretji, čak počem že mene mede. Če se greva tako, ne bova šla naprej. Ne rabiš it v čuzo, boš šel v krsto prej. Če zdaj dvomaš mame, imam zate še cel dis. Napisal sem ga zate, tvoj gang sem šel bit. Ne igram se več igr, zdaj odkril sem svoj flow. Izpraznil sem puško, zdaj jo spet bom nabol. Pokazal sem vam, kako se delava sobov. Retardking posluš, pa mrš nazaj domov. Dost mam v streh, na živc ste mi izstopil. Nočem biti nesramen, sem se mi nismo zastopil. Rekel sem marš, pa ste še vedno pred mano. Rečem marš še enkrat, pa vam vse bo dost znano. Gremo zdaj še enkrat mal hitrej in hitrej. Ja, ker glej, dober glej. Ja, ker glej, dober glej. Gremo zdaj še mal hitrej. Ti si vitez, on je krasen, kaj je krapa vitez, ka brez grada ste vstal, ka vam rušam stene, pičke lene. Hotel disat teba mene, zdaj jaz disam v skatene. Dost bo tega, dost bo belga, miza, breka, kinga, lega, repa, fejka. Slovenski NF, on hotel je postat. Mogo ma boš disat boš, ja brat. Flow treba bo ujet, ne srat. Če pišeš poezijo, pa le spišem novo vero. Tale moj nov dis je zate zlato fucking pismo. In če misliš, da smo isti, to imaš mi res nismo. Če vas kje še mede, tukaj imam še samo bistvo. Ena, shoutout za Bena, ka mi reakcije vedno pedena. Dva, Arkingu stan doma, da ne bo strela padla z neba. Tri, noben mi ni izjema, ne zgovari mojega imena. Če pozabil si ime, ne pozab ga več, a ne. Zate naredil sem dista še zaden. Folk je hotel videti spopad, sem zdaj ni važen. Moram ti reč, da v redu si tip. Poboljšal si sebe, poboljšal si grip. Dam ti na svet in to je moj zaden. Lot se od polka, kar res je dost gaden. Negative ne rabaš, to ti je to. Jaz sem drž krškar in to je pač to. Lirični umor, sem ti disan nisi pisu. Lirični zamor.
Yo, folk. Živo vsi. Kako smo kaj? Pozdravljeni. Yo. Evo, da vas mal pozdravam. Živo Marija, živo Mihac, živo Novniko, živo Anže Šarc, živo Savinčan, živo Duk, živo Krekerson, živo Vitalij Stajka, živo Anže, živo Žiga Purgar, živo Tjanik, živo Luka Rožan, živo Teja, živo Hype Clan, živo Unicorn, živo KDS, STKK, dober ime, živo Anže, živo Keltix, živo Mata. Ma že tretjič danes pozdravljaš, folk. To je res, pinči, že tretjič dan. Živo Roko Marin, živo Endvan Bobo, živo Jajca, živo Jack Pin, živo Andrej Žumar, živo Nejc Janežič, živo Gorni Kristjan, živo Zinks. A čaj, da sam tukaj da tole, evo, takole. Sem danes rekel, da dam eno od Grala. Jaz ko čakam, da od Grala album pride ven v angleščini. Njegovi angleški komadi so insane. Res so insane njegovi angleški komadi. Živo Zairo, živo Mihac, me pinaš. Zdaj pa začem vrem, ne bo da 40 folk, bo si sočkal. Dej, Kinzel drugače ne igra Mihac. Evo, če daš neki vzeti skeletar kodo, ajde. Kinzel ni Qual-al, ja, zato sem spremenil, da navijamo za Slovence navijamo za TaySona v bistvu. Kje si, Vojksi? Kako si, Vojksi? Pozdravljen. Hvala. En lihar me, bratu. THP, Perko, pozdravljen, mislim, da te me hvala, ljubi za Perko, kako si kaj Perko, pozdravljen, hvala ti, hvala. Živo Andraš, jo. Chat, ko bo Pero začel, bomo sam pogledali malo kakšen setup ima, okej? Kaj me zanima. Itak se bo malo zavlekal, kako se vedno tukaj na teh kapih. Živo Dropkill, živo Bad Scripto, živo Mali Fantič, jo. Ja, narobe si vse napisal, Mihac. Sam napiš za kodo, Spet si... Živo Lanči. Perko, hvala ti za spot, pozdravljam, živo Lanči. Če bo member only. Ja, med igram bo member only, res je. Med igram bo member only. Hotel sem sam pokazati, kdo je Qual-al. Zdaj sem zmeden. Že kva sem jaz na solo cash kapo tukaj? Ok, se pravi, polfinale. Sprav, TaySon, Rizom pa Veno so bili spet prvi v polfinalu. Prejšnji so bili isto, pa so bili pa na koncu četrti v finalu. Top 3 grejo direkt v veliki finale naprej, tako da ja. Drugi kirjači, Stormy, Gambitus, pol, kjer so še taki naprej. Snazy, Nate, Robubs. Čak, ja, Nate pa Forziar pa te so splitala, ne, če se ne motam. Evo, Seti, Kami, Tik. Deceptos, Andilex, Forziar, Swizy, ja, evo. Ona dva so tudi splitala, ja. Že fejs flaška, jo. Evo, a je zdaj v redu. Ja, napisal si Lamo, ne Lamao. Ker kralj. Anas, Tomas, pa Flik. Koga imamo še kaj? Možno se, da ne moramo navijati za Benja, ki je tak že Qual-al. Enoč tajskega posebnega pola, okej. Pač ja, sam TaySon je od Slovencev. Samo TaySon. Že kitajske črke. Evo, ne ti bo, ajde, ne ti bo. Tu si prvi PR na cash cupu, nice. Ajde, da vidimo tle Fortnite, kaj bom. Evo ga, Fortnite. Biggs je tukaj, what do you mean?
1-7-2-4-3-1-2-2-4-5.
Ne vem, kaj da fakt so te cifre. Dajte srčko v chat za Biggsa. Biggs, kako si? Kako si? Hvala ti, legenda, za 20 evrov. A so to loto cifre? Maybe? Pa 33, čak, kva? Kva si zadev Biggs, ali kva? Mislim, to so ene random cifre. 76 ni loto cifra. Pa so te cifre, ki jih nabija Biggs. Koliko premalo srčko vidim za našega Biggsa v chatu. 17, 24, 31. 22, 45. Nice, Tin, nice. Biggs žalosten. Zakaj je žalosten Biggs? Ko ne vem, kva da fakt so te cifre?
Ej, hvala, ker si mi do
Domzi, I'm back. Hvala vsem za podporo za jutri. A jutri imaš popravca? Domzi. Pa da gledam za 1 euro. Če, Domzi ima jutri popravca z angliščine. Ma to easy. Kanač. A ga ni srčkonost? Ja, vse jih je kar nekaj, ampak ne vem. Fog je ful nehu srčka spamati, kljub temu da rečem. Chat, če nekdo donira, brez da jaz rečem, morate vi spamati srčka v chat. Da se, pač, s nekaj, ko nekdo donira, podpre, pač ja, mene, ampak to cel ScorpLZ podpre. Ker pa jaz lahko nadaljujem s tem, kar delam. Tako da to mora biti avtomatsko vedno. Avtomatsko srčke v chat. Jaz lahko ne smel reči, da dajte srčke v chat. Mogla bi biti že v chatu. Ej, chat, ne spema za pin, ker sem že pinil. Mislim, lahko to napišete, ampak. Žerjan. Biggs, a mi lahko razložiš, kaj so, a je to sam random številke, ali dejansko kaj pomeni? Ja, ne vem, face flaška, toliko sprašuješ, da ne. Okej, Domzi, okej. Daj bo začeti, čez 5 minut pa 40 sekund imajo še lon, ki se pogovarjam. No, nekaj časa bo še trajal, ne, nekaj časa bo še trajal. Jaz sem za Tomasa, ja misliš, da bo Tomas kam pršel? Mislim, v finale bojo po moje Qual-al, tudi če ne bojo top 3. Kakšen taste, Biggs?
Test.
A ja, že vem, kaj dela. Hvala ti, Biggs, legenda za 10 evrov, hvala ti. Vem, zakaj je rekel test. Čet, to drugač vas testira. Zaenkrat ste se izkazali. Nice. Kralj Big, še jaz sem pozabil, kaj mislil s tem. Hvala ti, Big, legenda, za vas support, res zelo cenam. Pa zdaj to delaš drugač, ali kva, da nimaš časa, ali počitance. A si bil kjet sploh zdaj? Si se kaj vzel, Frej? Skor, pust lase, prosim, za 35 jurjev. Ja, okej. Neka se... Čet, slajši streami bojo, če si lase posnim. Zato, ker se ne počutim samozavestnega, pač čist nič. Ful manj energije manj, če se ne pobrijam po to. Že zdaj mi je tako bad. Ne, plačaj dobo. Mislim, da je 15, ampak ne, pač tako, ker ga zdaj ful malo bilo. Se izplača kupati Glorious Model D ali kjer drug? Če boš kupil miško od Gloriousa, ti Model D priporočam, ja. Definitivno. Big za kar time out od TaySona, what? Poglej Twitter od Rizana, zakaj? Nič ni tweetno, kva ti govoriš? A kdo je, da je en tweet v Rizan, kao, ja. Tako da naredi svoje skrime enkrat. Ja, spet, Unite bota moram spet povezati chat, ker se šola začne pa to, bo ful več časa kontenta, kaj vi gledate. Se pravi, YouTube bom streamal 3 ure na dan, plus videe bom probal imeti, pač ne vsak dan zdaj videa, ampak tako kot je bilo včasih, ker sem ene 3-krat na teden uploadal vsaj. In bom streamal tudi take stvari, ki jih vi radi gledate večinoma na YouTubeu. Pač probal bom, dobro, zdaj probal smo tudi navadili, da ni sam Fortnite. A ja, to, okej, zastopam Bix. Okej, TaySon, ne tega drugič pisati. Jaz ne bom gledal, če ne bo Fortnite. Bil sem 3 teden dopusta, bil sem na Kresu, sploh ne vem, kako se to izgovori, ker sploh prvič slišam za to. Če, ja sem zdaj ful na uma, izpadel, ker ne vem, kaj je to. Očil sem, zdaj delam en teden vsak dan po 12 ur, spet 12. Sploh zdaj, ki je vroče, kaj svina, In kako je bilo na dopustu? Pinči tiho. Jaz pa geografija ne greta skupaj. Jaz pa geografija bi me lahko primeril z Američani. Tako da ja. Pa zgodovina isto. A veš, da necepljeni otroci ne smelo šole, to ni res. Drugač ni res. Za faks boš mogel biti cepljen / oziroma imeti pač PCT. Za srednjo šolo, samo če bomo prišli v rdečo cono, bo to prišlo. Za osnovno šolo pa tega ne bo, kakor jaz vem. Ma, Domzi, noče se sploh naučiti. Tako da ja. Zgodovina je bil moj prvi popravc, ja. Zgodovina mi res ne. Tudi pač čisto nezanimiva mi je. Če sem čisto iskren. A ja, pa gledal sem Stranger Things in ko je Hopper umrl, sem jokal, sam pa sem dojel, da je živ in sem bil fucking hyped. A veš kaj je najslabše, Biggs, da sem jaz že pozabil malo stvari, kaj se je zgodil. Sem toliko nazaj to gledal, mislim, se ni spet toliko nazaj, ampak... Jaz sem bil full hype, da bo zdajle nova sezona, pa me jabi džebejtala in je še naslednji let. Jaz sem pa mislil, da bo zdajle, avgusta. Kaj v koncu priporočam? Odaj sem kaj hočeš, tako pač. Chat, bom odperil ta stream pogledal, a je že začel. Kaj me res zanima, kakšen setup ima. Thumbnail še pride. A ni imel prej thumbnaila? What? A ja, kva? Ok, zbagan. Aj, bomo videli. Bomo videli, kaj bo. Sem pogledal, a pri kaj si gledal Vojksi? Kva si bil v kinu? A? Nima bolj, kot je jaz. Chat. Ne, pač, tukaj se ne gre tekmujeva, kdo ima lepši setup. Tako bom rekel. Setup, kdo ima takole prav svoj room, vsak ima po svoje sick setup, če tako gledaš, a ne? Če ima on čist drugačen stil, kaj jaz, ne pomeni, da je njegov boljši, ja pa moj boljši. Oba dva sta dobra, to je. Ne rabite primerjati setupa odko, pač na ta način. A veš. Ampak ja, me zanima, kakšen setup ima. Me zanima. Se strinjam, tvoj karen, tako pinči. Ti povem, moja zaključna ocena, matematika 2, slot 2, geo 2, zgo 2, lom 2, gum 2, fis 3, cam 2, ja, to ni lih se zahvaliti, no. Kaj mora biti TaySon zdaj, da Qual-al veliki finale? Top 3 mora biti, top 3. Nisi lajkal? Ja, sorry, chat, no, evo, bom lajkal. Sam ne, čakajte. Evo, lejte. Morate vi pri meni lajkati, da jaz tam lajkam, okej? Lej. Ajde, se pravi, 400 lajkov, pa jaz lajkam še perto, evo, pa mu zrihtate. Ja, še... Najboljš da 9 minut čakam. Ok, novi overlay, to vidim. Te so novi overlay, definitivno. Najboljš da... Kaj, zdaj bom tle čakal, pa tukaj bom čakal. Najboljš da vse čakam. Najboljš da 8 minut čakam. Maybe mute. Abby, I don't listen to that. Kva? Clash of Clans? Ne. Zdajle bomo... Pač čakal bom, da on začne. Sam ne vem, kva rabo 9 minut, da začne. Oh, I see, Abby. Kva je na Tech Bigs? Kaj piše na thumbnailu? Nič ne pisal, sam njegov. Pač, jaz sem ful mislil, da... Mislim, glede thumbnaila, ki ga ima, sem jaz ful mislil, da bom imel on tako ful tak setup v primerjavi z Ninjo, sicer ne na takem nivoju, ker tisto je še več, tisto je ogromno denarja. Kje si Sharpie? Ampak, tako, pač ful bolj minimalistično ima. Kar je nice. Za počutje je boljš, se mi zdi. Da nimaš vse v ledicah, pa vse na enkašno barvo pa to. Ja, ne vem ti in kam, trgovsko. Ne, mislim, če ni omejitve, kamorkoli. Se on ima vsaj ječko. Mislim, ja, to je kar dolga. Pač jaz zdi, v Sloveniji se ne splača več, že 5 minut je kar dolga začakati, da se začne. Wow, Vojksi. Dajmo naslednja muska, tale karena. Na koncu se bo tole prej začerka pa njegov stream. Pa znarim. To me zanima, kako zgleda. Zanima me, kaj je za njemu, kaj bo kaj imel. Pač, a bi mi rekel, da kaj istorija slišala, da bo imel dosti sponzorskih stvari v zadnji, če se ne motam. Ampak ja, wow, Domzi, wow. Živo, Juško, jo. Bomo videli. Bomo vidjali, kaj bo. A imamo 400 lajkov? 400 lajkov pa mu lajkam, evo. Like za like, aš. A veš v morju ožigalkari, kar rastejo tleh v vodi? Ja, kaj z njimi, Jack Finn? Kaj ponad ima 12 minut? What? Jaz sploh ne vem, kva bi predvajal tok dolg. Ok, Lucy moj 50 donerov. Če, jaz ne bom nikoli s to. Pero, kadarkoli streama, on na vsak stream zasluži po moje Jurija v donaciji. Pač insane, ne vem kako. Se pravi, ima nove alerte, dejansko dobri zgledajo alerti. Pač meni so simple, ampak... Ok, Green Team ima tudi takole gor. Edin... Pa se dejansko ni slabo drugač. Jaz bi tole, ka ima It's Lucy, jaz bi tole napisal v rumeni. V rumeni bi mogel biti. V rumeni bi mogel imeti on. Če za overlay še ne moram vedeti. Kaj, ka tole itak sam tale začetek. Pač tale, Klepsi, tale alert mi je dosti všeč, ko ima animiran. Ko se vidi, da ima prav special. A, vidite, tukaj ima v zeleni. Ne vem, zakaj za donacije nima v zeleni. V rumeni, če imajo rumena krila, bi po mojem mogel imeti. Lej ga igral. Kaj delam? Čakam, da vidim njegov setup. Pa gremo gledat finale. Kaj igraš? Tek ali pump? Pump igram. To je green team. Ja, sej to je za member, abi. Zato zeleno. Aha, se pravi, tole je silver, ki je 10 evrov. Pa čaj, jaz bi imena spremenil, da so v taki barvi, kakor so krila, ki bi full ball clean zgledali. Po moje, no? Po moje. Lej ga igral. Čet, valjda ima veliko lajkov. Jaz sem full zasral svojemu studijom, ki ga nisem hypu neki full. Pač ko en dan naprej sem dal stream in to je to. Premal sem hypu. Pero zna vedno full dober hypat streame. Lej ga pinči. Jaz sem super ga pinjal. Tebi vžigalka vžigala po obrazu. Rip. On bi zdaj mogel nov logo dati, pa on je lihkar logo spremenil. Zakaj bi rabil nov logo? Se to nima veze. Pač teli overlay so mi full podobni prejšnjim drgača, niso bili prejšnji full podobni. Vsaj ta začetek, no bomo videli, kako mi je opal. Pač za animacije, za donacijo so mi full všeč. Clean pa tako, full so dobre. Dejansko sem ofovš za donacije, animacije. Kaj res lepo zgleda. Kva moč ti nabijaš? Čet, jaz odkar streamam nisem vse skupaj zaslužil, kakor sem v tle top 5 telih doniral. Pač insane. Bravo, Donzi. Kaj ima to veze z da smitim? Pinči, se razmišljam, ja. Davo pa skor ga en himna, smisla se iz himna. Komad bo zelo hmal, no. Zelo hmal mora biti. 2 minuti pa pol, čet. Jo, kaj to gledamo? Čakam, da vidim njegov setup. Zdaj, kaj je fora tega? A to on avtomatsko tako da se to zakrije? On ima po moje zdaj narejen, prvo rek, da mu avtomatsko skozi te muske predvaja. Nisem pa zihar, no? A mora on dejansko vsakeč, da na drugo musko zakrit tam sam. Jep, gra. Pač Pero ima pač insane. V zvezi z donacijama on insane. Staž, da bo Tomas HD zmagal, ja vem se, jaz lepo bomo videli. Zakaj imam delay na streamu? Najmanjš ima, kakor se da, ne more biti brez delaya, nemogoče je. Še minuta pa pol. A video od Ruma, čet, naslednji teden bo šel... Glej ga, Maj. Maj, hvala ti legenda za 5 evrov. Dajte srčke za Majo, čet, prosim. Pozdravim tudi ti, Maj, hvala ti legenda. Hvala ti za support, hvala, res. Jep, Domzi. Aj, folk, ja sem vas prej naučil. Živi, Ana. Vsakeč, ko nekdo donira, morate sam srčke takoj začeti v chat spam, brez da jaz rečem, okej? Okej, folk. Če gledam kaj fuzbala, ne. Evo, da vidimo zdaj, chat. Čakaj, a je bilo zdaj 0-0 ali sem jaz lih tako slučajno pogledal, da sem izdel? Že tole gaming, še zadnja minuta, ajde. Ajde, da vidimo, 88, živo, Leo Mark. Ajde, čet, da vidimo njegov setup, da vidimo. Ampak vidi se, da je poletje, čet. On bi, če ne bi bilo zdaj le poletje, da bi tak številka takrat, ko je bila šola, bi imel on zdaj le po moje 3 ure gledalcev še za starting soon. Ful se pozna. Ajde, bomo videli, čet, zdaj le. Da vidim, bo kaj zamudo še.
Ej, hvala, ki si...
Moč, 2 evra, ne poslušaj Pinčija.
Ne bom več sekiral.
Moč, Pinči je prioriteta. Ja, kjer krat, dejansko je naredil spet zamuja, da piše. Okej, ta je dobra, ta je dobra. Sam, kaj, zdaj bo do konca te muske počakal, ali kaj? Dobar, je dal take mimi noter. To mu dam, to mu dam. To so že plus točke. Alerti so mi ful všeč. Za donacije so mi ful všeč alerti. Lej, Pinči, probuje. No. Čakamo, da začne čat. Ziger se vdrl mikrofon na polno spet. Kaj bomo mi tu. Da vidimo. No. Zakaj tebi ne kaže za turnir, kaj ti ne kaže? Ja, okej, no! A je to transition? Ne. Halo? A on to trola, ali? Upam, da trola, da ne me res vsakič tako. Najbolj, da kar še enkrat poslušam. Powered by Troll Gang. Okej. Sam to bo. A ja, prav. Naredil je intro, tako kot imajo te večji streamerji. To sem jaz vedno hotel imeti, sam nikoli nisem vedel, kaj da bi dal noter. Prav intro je naredil, okej. Kaj na full screen? Zanima me, koliko dolg ima to on zdaj. Highlightsi, ja. To ima veliki youtuberjev. Sam se mi zdi, da v Sloveniji se ful ne splača. Edin pero, no, ne moj koliko, ga itak veliko ljudi vedno čaka. Lega, Domzi! Domzi je bil. Kar Jurija model. Insane.
Okej.
Da vidimo.
Gospodje.
Ajde, da vidimo.
Če kdaj bil takšen hype presežem. Cajte, da prižgemo kamero. Dobrodošli na stream Troll Gang!
No?
Še zmer najjači.
Ne, znoro bom zdaj.
In še zmer najjači. Tako da burazi moji, jeste spremni Troll Gang. Gremo je največji Troll Gang v chat, če ste spremni. Hoče videti vsaj 1900 ljudi, da napiše Troll Gang od enkrat, da se razfuka fucking internet, brat moj. Mene je glas!
Jaz sem zastral, on full dober hype story, jaz sem zastral, ker full nisem hype, ampak nima veze.
Kaj se dogaja, brat?
Da vidimo.
Produkcija! Sad je, da prižgemo
Ja, Scorp, napiš. Zdaj bo v isti sobi. Najbolj, da je v isti sobi. Ni šans.
Troll Gangerke! Dobrodošli
No?
v gaming room, kjer se bo dogajal najjači content še naprej, še dodatnih 10 let, brat moj. A so spremni?
No, dej.
Ne slišam vas!
Smo spremni! Evo, slišal me je chat. Okej, Troll Gang v zadnji, to zgleda nice. Ej, dost mejhan room drgat zgleda.
2, 1, prižgite luči, produkcija!
Ej, prav vedel sem, da bom imel neki tasga, chat. Prav vedel sem.
Pa še!
Prav vedel sem.
Luči, brat moj!
Saj je full prazna drgač. Ampak ta stena je full lepa. Čakaj, to bom pa... Copyrighta pa ne bi jih pojedel, no, zaradi donacije. Donacije so mi full všeč, Chat, donacije so mi full všeč. Donacije so mi všeč. Yeah, Abby, I see G Fuel. Abby, that's the same guys that they wanted me to have it. Jo, skoro, ravno kar sem uvila, smiško pa uvila, mi tukaj sem. Nice, kudi, nice. Chat, ne pisati, čigav je boljši. Chat, vsak studio je po svoje dober. Pač meni je všeč, da v zadnji piše Troll Gang, ne? Jaz v zadnji nimam logota, to mi je edino žal, ne? Evo, pa tle. Pač te alerte ima full dober, alerti so mi všeč. A vam so všeč te alerti, chat? Pač jaz vam recimo full bolj simple alerte, a ne? Glej ga igral. Ebi, ja, te stene so po moje soundproof stene, mislim tako, pač imajo pikce pa to, po moje lik za to. Po moje ima full soundproof nared. Zumina.
Okej.
Vidite, chat, te barve ledic so najlepše, zato vam tudi jaz te barve, najlepši spade. Te barve ledic najlepši spadajo.
Majke mi hype je okoli tega nerealen. Hvala za subscribe.
Ja.
Hvala za green team.
Za donacije alerti sem ful všeč. Kaj glas, Juško?
Okej.
Oj, nač folk, a si začel?
Moram to fiksati.
Zdaj se bo začel.
Zdaj bom tako rekel. Par stvari...
Dajmo mu komentirati, ajde, daj.
Par stvari bo treba še popraviti.
Kje imamo...
Ampak...
Kje je fire emoji?
Čakaj, kako bo zdaj to? V bistvu sploh nema, da bi zdaj
popravil. Evo, ajde, tako, evo.
Fuck it. Ne bi sploh zdaj popravil.
Treba komentirati, evo.
Zdaj sploh nič popravil.
Znači, to je to, bomo šli...
In bomo pol. Ali popravil, zdaj veš, malo iz centra. Par stvari moramo še popraviti, momci.
To je isti kaj jaz, chat. Začnem streamat, kad imam nov studio in pol, ja. Okej. Chat, drugač bo member only chat, okej, kad bomo gledali.
Oh yeah, man. Vacation's over. It's time to put in the work.
Chat,
And it's time to see who is going to finish in that top 3. It's what I'm talking about. It's FNCS. It's qualifiers week 2, and we talk about who's going to be in that top 3.
Inač, member only chat bo zdaj, okej, da ne boste spoilali, v redu?
Because, you know, the biggest thing we saw with TaySon in week 1, coming through in 4th, coming in with also one of the most insane clutches. This entire trio has been on full cylinders this entire FNCS, but not qualifying, right? And the entire conversation was who's going to start contesting them. That's what he's
pač vsak je po svoje, chat. Pač edino, kar pa njegov, pač jaz osebno ful rad vidim pri streamerih, a ne, pri setupih, da vidiš njihov personality, a ne, to je edino pač pa njemu težko vidiš. Ampak to je itak pač tako. Definitivno zgleda profesionalno, a ne.
You talk about the top 3, and that is
upgrade.
That is always on high.
Kankins and Lenda. Oni v Holly Lendajo, sam danes ne igra. Evo ga, TaySon. A so kontestani? Ali niso?
Reports of the early drop spots. Things are kind of shuffling. I've noticed a lot of people are missing.
Če ran kaj premakan, mi pojete.
I see that Daisy definitely lazy.
Ana, full folka nikoli. Mislim, tudi Kinzel nikoli.
I'm really hoping for Lazy Links to come back. Lazy Lake is a place where you
aha, ja, okej, se pravi, moram malo predstaviti. Zakaj začel tako dajati?
Now we're seeing a fight between Mappy, Exterios.
Evo, takole bomo dali. Takole dejansko paše zraven. A je tako, chat. God. Ja, dosti slište. Green screen ne moram dati zaradi tega, ker lejte, pač tako čuden je, ne? Kako kažejo. Rad bi dal green screen, sam so zasrali. Za finale bom pa zrihto, da iz kauča streamam chat, okej?
And they had to do it in a blink of an eye. The Loot Boy trio understanding that working out in Believer Beach is TaySon's trio.
Mihac, jaz itak vem, kako ona zgleda drugač.
Third party into Boney Burbs, but this is going to be a drop spot contestant that we're going to keep an eye on throughout the day, Shayo.
Yeah, 32 teams who just started off on this island in game number 1. 2 already down, so you can see how reserved most of the map is actually playing for the moment.
Folk, ful bi vas prosil, da nobenemu ne pišete, ali mena pa Perotu, pač, da napišete Perotu, ScorpLZ soba je lepša, ali pa mene od Perotu soba je lepša. To ni, to je brez veze, pač, ne takih stvari pisati, okej, čo? Kaj vem, da eni bojo to zihar pisali. Ja? Kaj sam nepotreben hejt. Ne rabi to vse competition.
You cannot contest Malabuka's trio down at Steamy Stats.
Jaz sploh ne vem, kdo so te. Ana bo zdaj rekla, in ti kam spremljaš prost sceno.
I know Indreda, Savage, and Refsguard, they qualified through the spot, but they put a lot of pressure of Malabuka's
danes mora TaySon trio dobro igrati. TaySon trio skozi dober igra, pač tudi polfinale, že dvakrat so bili zdaj v polfinalu prvi. Prejšnji so bili četrti, malo so falili, ne, da niso bili top 3. Zdaj, očet lahko piše, kaj je member only, neki mi noče, pač plažal pa ti piše, kaj da ne, ej, Perko, ni panike, dosti si me že tako podprl, tako da hvala ti res. Hvala. Jaz edino, kaj moram za donacije, chat bom spremenil musko. Magical bo še vedno, ampak po, zato da ne bom copyrightan. Od grala muske bom malo uporabil, one angliške.
We're taking a look at
Pa
that
to
feed
mojo,
right there.
verjetno, ko bo
That is
prišla.
Bobby
Mislim,
Trio
najina zgrada.
landing in Pleasant Park.
Kako se kaj vas
That is
solite
a
drugače
common
muske,
rotation
chat?
for people landing in Pleasant Park to
Musko
make
moram
their
full
way down
nahypat,
into
pa ne vem
Bonnie
kako
Burbs.
naj,
Like I
pač
mentioned,
Pero zna full
because
dobro
there are
hypat.
2 trios landing in Bonnie Burbs. Expect a lot of third parties to roll their way, but no third party will come to the
Mislim,
dirty
največji
dock.
lih ne, no,
Now,
Ana.
speaking of more action, it is down happening here at Lazy Lake, and it is Felix,
Dej na Discord mi
Felix,
napiš, Bix. Na
Ori
Discord mi
and
napiš,
Nodik
prosim.
here, and they are actually landing center, and they're trying
Ful
to.
se je veselim.
It's always when it comes to Lazy Lake, it's always people trying to just
A
get
muske
involved,
tule
trying
gang,
to third
nice,
party, get
nice.
those valuable Storm Surge tags.
That's a fresh flavor too. You'll notice that these
Pač
are
upam,
not
da vam
gonna
bo
be-
všeč,
or
no, upam, da vam ne bo
EV3, or it's not
cringe.
gonna be one of those teams returning,
Upam, da noter
you know,
rekla,
the
Scorp je
10th
toliko shit
football number
rapper,
one.
ker
They're
to mi
gonna
ni.
be having fresh faces. That's exactly
A daj mi
how
pol
to
na
attack
Insta piš,
competition
Bix.
in a round
A si mi
4
že napisal?
setting, in a set lobby setting. And, you
Nisi mi
know,
še.
you mentioned
Živijo, Linux, jo, jo.
the entire trio of Anas Thomas Flick. You got Seti Kami Tika on that side of the map. That'll be very difficult for, you know, newcomers to kind of take over. Meanwhile, though, classic fights we see over at Pleasant
Pa če
Park.
hočete, da vam lahko green screen gor na mapo, a ne, če to hočete. Ne vem, bo to čudno zgledalo, ne, ampak. To povejte.
Already, this is a nice strategy to kind of stall things out, maybe catch someone up top tripping, but it's
Pišem, okej.
Baffo on the other side of your wall.
Ne si obljubil predogled. Točen Juško, ja.
Res
Res je.
Baffos trios coming from the deep woods dish right here, so they're rotating through into
Paziš,
zone
bro, zato,
one.
že Vojksja, ti si
Expect
slišal
to
vse,
see
ne?
This confrontation happen multiple
Pa že Denotes
times
so vem, da je
throughout
full
the
všeč,
day.
no.
Now you kind of have to wrap this up quickly.
Pa enim drugim
Absolutely,
tudi.
you can see the way they're kind of fighting this war of attrition with the materials. and
Pač
the
bolj bi bilo,
ammo,
če bi bil
a
angleški
three-way
komad,
split, making
ampak
sure to rat
mora
away
biti slovenski.
At every single wall and pyramid, especially if it even gets edited, it's so much easier. to
A,
break
zmeri.
those builds
Da, Juško,
down.
lej, boljše, da ne
Why
slišiš
have
realno,
that
da slišiš
for a
pol.
little way to maybe get a peek in, but once again, they see an edit. They
Med
spray
malo
the
pa,
pyramid,
ja ne,
even if the
pinče, če
full-
nam tja kamero,
Let's
pol
talk
se ne
about
vidi,
what's gonna
koliko imajo
happen here once
materijalov.
they get through this altercation here. You still have, you know, Bobby's trio
Sam
already
za
moved
to.
their way through. They already pushed their way through Boney
A
Burbs,
zdajle je
so
v
that
redu,
trio's
ampak
gonna
pol,
be
ko
waiting
kaže,
for
koliko
them
imajo
out in the distance. So
Buda
you
pa
gotta
tega.
keep that in mind as you see Pucher picking up
Linux pač,
Splash,
valjda
getting
lahko.
a knock right there. That is
Se se
all
vidi,
that's
koliko buildov
happening in
imajo.
the south. Here's
A
the
je
first
boljša, ne,
peek
če imam
here
green screen,
of
chat.
the zone 1 scene. It's going to be a centralized east zone here. And what's so exciting is last week, Shia, we had a lot of central zones, not a lot of coastal in game, so it kind of gave like a even playing
Bigs,
field, and
ja,
that is
res
why
je.
Aqua's trio was able to take
Ja, zdaj so
easily
tako
because they had to
naredili,
deal
da,
with a lot of natural
da
terrain
zakriva
options.
celo spodnjo tam v
big
spodaj.
trios keep,
Pač,
you know, just in mind of right now,
Model.
control this map very well. Our Kami Seti Teak,
A se moram pomanjšati kaj?
We're
A je v redu?
basically at their homes now. We get to see
Aj,
what
spet mi je.
happens when they get given the best cards to play with at this table.
Absolutely, and we have to definitely take a look what's happening at Corning Complex as well. That is on
Qual-al.
the north side because a lot of
Ne,
people
pač
were
ta-
planning to land there. We have Roban
Qual-al
who
mora-
landed there
mačkam
last
po
week.
stran
Bad
moram
Sniper
dati,
making an
da se tam
appearance,
ne
might
vidi.
possibly
Qual-al.
landing there, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Shayo, I gotta take a step back. You know, when we're doing qualifier
ok,
one,
Biggs,
I
boš
was
dobil,
like,
boš
prepping my
dobil
notes,
preview,
I'm like,
okej?
oh, you know,
Boš dobil
Thomas
preview.
H.D. is gonna make it, but no.
Pač takole
Thomas
vmes,
H.D.
ful ne vem,
did not
a dam
make
tako
it.
ali kaj?
And Shayo, these were
Malo manj se
relabeled
lahko dam.
blockbuster. They were making hit after hit
Qual-al.
after hit
Aj tako
in
boljš?
previous seasons. I mean, right now they came in what?
Relaxi,
second,
ja,
third,
ja.
and then now they're
Sem
in
se
fourth place
pomanjšal.
coming in the previous season FNCS.
Čakam vse, kaj da
Will they get
premaknem.
first place? I don't know, man. They haven't come in with that hot vibe that they've been
Aj,
usually
boljško.
coming into, rolling into the
Kaj, ne
FNCS
morate vsi
season.
dobiti.
I mean, like, you know, when it comes to round 3, 2s, and
Ja,
1s,
čakam, da premaknem ta
sometimes
creator
random
code.
things can
Ej, ful,
happen.
drugač ful
The
premalo
player might be
menjam,
put away slightly, but you gotta
ampak
remember, right?
dej, kaj
First
kupite na
overall,
Epic
you're
Gamesu
looking
ali
at
pa
things
v
in terms
Fortniteu ali v
of,
Rocket
you
League,
know,
kjerkoli,
how
prosim, da
FNCS finals get
uporabite
played. They get very
kodo
close
ScorpLZ v
always
item
with
shopu,
the
s tem mi res
top,
ful pomagate, tako da
at the same time,
res vam
those guys
hvala
lose
vsem, ki me
Sancho
supportate.
in
No,
it's
malo
that
premalo
lobby.
sem omenil zdaj zadnje 2 meseca in Creator Koda je bil moj glavni zaslužek, ki mi je najbolj pomagal, da lahko pač je to meni služba. Tako da, če mi res hoče pomagati, pa si kaj kupite v Fortniteu ali na Epic Gamesu ali kjerkoli, posod lahko Koda uporabite, tako da hvala vam. Žero X. Čak Biggs, ti si mi pisal, a? Ali? Da vidim.
Storm Surge tags are not a problem for this trio. They always end up late game as well, fully clutching out. I think Aggro might have given them an issue in the past, maybe sometimes being over at Dirty or doing some crazy things in the early game. As you see, he's on screen right now with his trio. They're nowhere close towards that full east side. They're going to be landing a little bit over towards the left ways of things, and it's going to be looking good for both teams here entirely. For you mentioning Thomas,
Bom ti dej na
Anas,
Discord, mi
these
nekaj
guys
napiš,
just
pa
look to
ko
be
šlah
at
Biggs,
least
da
in the
me
top
spomniš,
two
da ti pošljem.
Ingram's
Review.
trio, previously in the qualifiers, taking some shots.
Ko si gospod Žiga lahko, jaz sem super. Danes bi rekel, samo to bom še, da se gift skupaj. Nice, Perko. Nice. Lepo, da supportaš.
Leclerc, Buzz, basically
Aj, zdaj je v redu, chat, a vam je všeč takole green screen? Je v redu.
There are no strangers into these mountains. You already
Boljš za
talked about
turnirje.
earlier.
A drugače bi turnir radi, da
These are the
skauča
prime
streamam, a
places
rajš green
for those
screen.
valuable
Kaj je
sponsors.
boljš?
As you can see, they're trying to get Falcon in this trio to pay the toll.
Yeah, I like that you know, kind of highlighted Falcon's trio rolling in as well when you're looking at this new flavor.
Okay, Juško.
Okay, Juško. Individual firecracker. These guys just light the fuse in
Aj,
charge.
Big shvati, ne smem odpret, da sem spomnil. Se načeloma ne bilo že pošlam. Ki je igral. Nam po nasrč predvaju.
Kezik's trio, of course, Falcon Lee and ZQ coming all the way from Holly Hatchery. So there's that long rotation. But you're talking about the French shuffle. Kezik's is one of those people that kind of had to find another trio. It's quite interesting. Even though all these French players are all mixing it up and switching up trios, they had experience in playing other, third-party tournaments, duos, and other squads and things of that sort in the past. So there's still no strangers to the art. But hey, once the pressure's on for the FNCS qualifiers, things kind of shake out quite differently.
Especially in game number 1, when everyone is, kind of like high school kids at prom or just at a dance towards the walls.
Tudi ti boš dobil dosta teh 2 let. Te bi malo podprl. Kaj misliš od teh 2? Kaj? Tudi ti boš dosta dobil od teh 2 let. Kaj s tem misliš, Perko? Kaut sam zato, ker me zanima, kako bo. Ok, pinči, zmena. Lega, Roix, hvala ti, legenda za 5 €. Tašen rip tvojk si, je to nov špil? Ajde, folk, dajte membri srčko v chat.
Rúm, sploch nikni posebnega glede na to, kak hýbe je majster pero dielal mi je tvoj rúm 100-krát lepší.
Ej, Roix, hvala ti, hvala. Samo se nočam, pač, da se to govori. Pač, še vedno je veliko ložil to in pač, definitivno mi je njegova pač una stena v zadnji ful lepa. Hvala ti res, Roix, za 5 €, hvala ti. Dajte membri, ajde. Folk, zakaj sama bi srčka napisala?
All of them finished in the top 10.
Ovih si prvi slišal,
what they can do working as their second opportunity here. Remember, they've won
res
two
mali
Cash
fatič.
Cups already, Shayo. So they're going to be a trio
Živela,
that
nikoli
is
nisem probal
formed
drgač.
really nicely, very, very quickly.
Za zdaj tak nima potrebe, ker sodelujem z Red Bullom, tako da. To, tak chat mi je všeč. Roix, hvala ti, legenda za support, hvala ti.
From here, you'll notice 167 damage above on the right side. That is Storm Surge. You basically have to deal damage, or the server will start to deal damage to you entirely in bursts of 25.
Kalar ti za donacije si pa res ful všeč. Zdaj razmišljam, da bi jaz imel drugače. Gledaj, moji so taki bolj simple, ne? Na levi gor, da ne zakrije preveč gameplay, ker ful se bolj skoncentriram na gameplay. To stare verzije igraš? Aha, okej.
Yeah, these parasites are not really used to the
TaySon, okej. Najbolj da TaySon donira. Najbolj da TaySon donira. Hvala za €1. Heavy probably for the finals. I'll try it for the finals.
Definitely has to make the adjustments as well, working with this trio. That's a very tough point. Holly Hatchery is a very tough rotation for this zone. You talk about Kenzo. And that trio being there, Kenzo's
Is that today? No, Abby, like the big finals. That's like at the end of August. Če, ne vem še kdaj ne pol te igre naredim. Pinči, kdaj naredimo te igre? Ker ta finale pa vse to je. Dejansko ne moram za vikend narediti iger. A naredim med tednom in je to, Pinči. Kaj nekaj si dobo, če vedno pogledam, kaj izbriše. 2 leti ne smem, zato sem napisal po teh. Ok, Perko, ok, hvala ti, drgalj, za support. Verjam, Pinči. Pač po moje bom naredil zadnji teden chat med tednom, ok, ker so počitnice te igre. Pa Fall Guys-a verjetno ne bom vključil. Zaradi tega, ker nima toliko folka Fall Guys in bo po moje pač sam. Laž bom dal eno več mapov najdu z Fortnite pa neki. Bom videl. Ok, Timi, ok. Jaz moram video narediti, ja. Pač zdaj naslednji vikend pride Zupi, da narediva video. Room tour.
Operate endgame without pressure when they actually get to make the entire plan from drop all the way to zone number 9. Everyone right now, though, Sancho around is kind of held up.
Cool gaming, kdaj noš več member? Konc, a res zadnji teden ne boš. Pač ja, takrat sem rekel, da bom zadnji teden pol naredil, ko bo najboljš, ko bo največ folka doma. Na Forziar pa te, Laziar, kot Forziar je, ne? Čaj, zdaj sem pomoč spremljal, TaySon je še živa, ne? Ej, Big, si slišal komand drugač? Ja, sem je nekaj
in as well. I'm wondering what other big name will be able to make a comeback. And, hey, we talk about an old name in the region.
Hey, T, did you finish editing? No, Abby, I didn't yet. I need to after the stream.
We all seen a lot of
chat, pa kako zgleda moj dan video, zdaj editam. Ne bo to dolg video, ker pač ne počnem veliko stvari načeloma, ne? Nočem pa fejkat, da delam ne vem koliko stvari, ki jih ne delam. Pinči, zaenkrat je 5 minut, pa to je lih do kosila sem prišel, pa 5 minut je dolg. Pač lih po fitnessu. Ampak lih tako, fora je, da sem takrat streamal 8 ur, ne? Ali 10 ur. In nimam veliko za posnet. Pinči, če bi ne hita res, ja.
Looking very healthy. I see TaySon in the distance as well, looking towards the actual satellite tower or the big base. It's going to be the only trio actually really controlling it properly. I think it might be.
Pinče, mislim, da bi mi moč drugače editu videa pa to. Pa da mu pol, ne vem, ad revenue za videa dam pa tako naprej, kokar dobi, ne vem. Če dobi v enem tednu ta video, ne vem, 3 evre mu 3 evre dam, ampak kokarkoli. A pa v enem mesecu, a misliš, da bi bilo to cool? Ker zaenkrat nimam toliko denar, da si prošel, da mu vsake video plačam, ne vem, 10-15 evrov. A misliš, da bi? Sam fakt, ne, moč ima shit internet, to je ful slabo. To ni dobro. Never mind. Evi, just in general. Problem je, da ima slab internet. Preden mi on to pošlja, pa jaz njemu, da on downloada je no let. To je jedin problem. Daj se dobu kill, nice. Nisem videl.
Everyone's kind of waiting. Malibuka makes the first move. No matter what happens, I feel like TaySon and Trixie up there will stay a little bit longer.
Danes sem ubil rame. Ne, včasih nisem maral ram delati v fitnessu, danes mi pa full sedel. Evo ga, TaySon v trio. Pa še pad imajo tle, nice. Po meni je zanimivo, da imajo tle odprt, da... Evo, grejo rotirat. Koliko bo en laseran? O, ne bo. Dejansko ni noben laseran. Nice, god. Reason ima jajca, da je tle stal nekaj časa primer. Evo, to moram jaz narediti. Reason, ker se zaboksa, on samo v tla gleda, da on kol nad sabo postav. Jaz pa vedno provam gor in pol zajebem. Vedno moram v tla gledati, da hočem kol nad sabo postaviti. Vedno.
Now rotations are developing right here. Vino, TaySon and Reason making it.
Kaj je Perko vprašal? Ta bo zdaj number one glede Urningov, kar je insane. Pač TaySon je drugače zaenkrat najboljši v zgodovini Forta, pač največ stvari je dosegel. Edino, kar je še World Cup, sam takrat on ni neki ful še igral, oziroma je igral, ampak ne toliko. Pač če TaySon zmaga World Cup naslednji pol, pač je GG, vse je dosegel, kar se lahko doseže. Lega, Juško, jaz ne bom igral teh iger. Reason igra tale rifle zdaj, ki je bil buffan. Pulse rifle. Kjer height imajo model, what? Če oni dobijo zone, ga chillajo.
But let's go ahead and let me plant the seed for you out there, folks. Cammy's trio had to build their way into the zone, and you saw TaySon's trio just glided their way in. So that's about 200-300 mat savings right there for TaySon's trio. So hey, if Cammy's gonna operate on the low ground, we gotta take a peek at their mat count. Now let's take a look at Lyzen meta here with some great opportunity to get a refresh and not only some eliminations, but some valuable loot and mats.
Surge imajo. Slava. So buff prišel, ampak.
Elimination right there happened, and look at this scrum that's happening right in front of us.
Imaš shit interneta, nimaš moč. Abi, kje ti vidiš Tamaro? Zakaj jaz ne vidim? What? A ja, gor. Živa Tamara, nisem videl. TaySon še ni zmagal na Dreamhacku. Možno, ja. Možno. Što bo zdaj s Tomasom?
Oh no, so that big low ground rotation surrounded by top teams, too much pressure.
Čekaj, kaj se s Forzerom pa Endilexom potem zgodil? A so imeli Sir Johnny? 75 healtha, slaba. Slaba. Dubal so kill. Sam ne bojo mogel rezati. Rip. Yep, Endilex pa te so mrtvi. GG. GG.
Enelix trio invested in height, but they were greeted by backfire.
A vi ne morate najbolj videti tle v spoji. To je edin bedno, a ne, če vam tle kamero. Kadar takole split dajo, ful ne vidite spodan ga.
But no, Enelix goes down. Squeeze 4ZR, the new French trio, eliminated.
And that's not just an elimination.
Ana, sam tako, Ana. FNC se je zmagal, to je važno, to mislim, Ana, pač. A zmagaš solo ali trio, duo, si nima veze. Pa zmage je dosta FNCS-ov že. Tudi duo to meni, recimo se, da bi jih zmagal tam, a veš kaj mislim, kaj bo. Pa če si znam, da se let bo duo, no.
It's turbo mode for that trio. And now we're going to see another rotation. It's the first movie and
Juško, kaj ti
it's
se bilo
going
pol
north.
prej?
This is zone 6.
Bi se manj zakrije, če dam na kamero, ne.
Are all going to be moving zones. And
Bom
that
dal
nine's
pol,
gonna
ker
go
lahko
all
vsi
the way to
glasujejo,
close.
tudi
But
nekaj ne
right
more
now it's at height.
pisati.
It looks like TaySon is trying to close the qualification right now and let the rest of the lobby know it is my time. And hey, if TaySon's trio goes in, that's another
Evo, dajte
trio
glasovat, dajte
that
glasovat.
TaySon's going to take to the finals.
Imate glasovanje, pol sem naredil. Pa glasujte.
But you see steady Kemi Teak. They're still alive right below them. I feel like it might come down to these 3 or 2
Toliko da vidim,
trios at
kaj
the end of
imate
the
raj.
day. At the same time though, it's
Pač ne vem, zakaj so mapo prostavili, da ni desno gor, ampak je desno v spodaj zdaj in to vse v nič.
And he
Dejansko.
has to definitely get going and get some beams, so that's why he's delaying the rotate. There he goes, glides over. Got to be careful. He's going to try to fly
Večina vas je
underneath
za
height
ne,
to save
večina vas je za ne.
himself some of the beams
Bomo kar
here.
takole
Gets
šli, evo.
tagged for a little bit. Great position right here, but now he's second
Evo.
from height alongside with the other trios on the
Takole.
other side there. So you got to be
Pač vem,
careful
da
here. But
tam
my
se
question
počne
for you,
akcije,
you talked
vi pa
about
vse,
Kami.
ampak
You're
glej.
seeing them. Do
Žal
they
so
have
spremenili,
enough
kako
match?
izgleda
Did
tam,
they
ampak
find
glej.
the refresh that they're going to need to
Ja,
contest
okej.
height when the time comes?
Maybe si bom naredil en overlay, da imam lahko desno gor v kotu, to bi bilo najboljš. Ampak tukaj je najboljš, kadar kaže uno, ker sta dve perspektivi. Kamera green screen ful čuden zgleda, če tako labdi. Dejansko. Pa tudi pol desno gor še zmer ne moramo videti unga, kaj igra, kadar imajo split. Evo, TaySon na haju, easy imajo. Zdaj le lahko zmagajo prvo igro že. Godi. Pač TaySon si je najdel še boljši trio, pač jaz to moram reči. Pač oni so res to godi. Pač na papirju so insane, pa tudi igrajo insane. Nice, ti jaz Mihac. A TaySon je on, ki je ubil Andelexa, okej. Nisem videl. Zanima me, koliko imajo kilo, moram pol pogledati.
It's the pressure and the squish is on, and look at it. Shaykos is now up with Bad Sniper here, and they're just barely above. And look at the
Bad
beat.
Sniper,
Trixie goes down. All that pressure is colliding, and
Dajte, kjer height imajo, tako pač. 5 storijev višji so. To je insane.
They get a little bit of freedom though. The entire server kind of expands.
No, tale je solo še živ. Ne, a je Skyzov še živ, še živ ali ne? Čudem kaže. A še Zon gre nazaj, čila ga. Tole je TaySon, pa njegov trio toliko moc zmagajo, pač. Sam killer, ravno vidi. TaySon ima 4 kile. 6 kilo imajo skupaj, to je dober. Ni insane, ampak
out moving forward and it's getting closer to the elevation, so that just
means
so much
če ima
pressure
ene 10 kill win je insane.
Irez getting some great eliminations on Clement. Artur getting eliminated by the storm.
Da so še malo nižji do pressure, ja.
Can be sending Teak on the front side, but Reason's putting a lot of
Ima še
pressure
dosta
on them and slowing
metkov.
them down. Kirachi down there is on the front side too.
I thought it was just Steady alone, but his entire
trio. Kje je Reason? Aha, Reason je čisto spodaj.
The only other trio remaining left alive trying to take away anyone around them, but at the same time, TaySon hasn't stopped shooting.
Tale zombo full folka ubil, ko gre tam čez. To zihar zmagajo. TaySon je dobil kill, nice.
Oh no!
The slurp cannon gone. Kami's HP is also gone, and TaySon.
Ta zon full pomaga TaySonomu trio tu. Tole imajo. Zdaj me, kako so hajdobali. To moram malo vod reviewati, zbrina tam. Da vidim malo, kako so vzeli hajd. Reason je tu double kill, nice. Še zmer insane, še zmer insane. Evo, TaySon zmagal prvi turnir, let's go, mislim. Prvi game. da vas pustim iz zapora zdaj, tako, eno minutko boste zdaj spuščeni, samo eno minutko, okej? Pa da gremo pa nazaj. Gremo pa nazaj, okej, end pol. Mislim, da bojo zmagali, ej, Ana, ful imajo šans, da zmagajo FNCS. Pa še zdi se mi, da trio še vedno tako, manj RNG-a, solo ti je ful več. GG chat, GG's. Okej, gremo pogledat, čakaj, tole.
Poncho, stop. You're so freaking funny. Wow, what a great first game here. You know
Prvo so zmagali 9 kilov, 48 pik, nice. Da vidimo, Kami pa te so tretji. Morajo biti top 3, če hoče direkt v finale, chat. Top 3 rabijo biti, da pridejo direkt v finale. Tako da, še 5 iger je. A je sploh še kakšen tak, za kjer ga lahko ne vemo? A jaz da lahko malo pogledamo, pa žal je Kami, tik pa te, lahko vidimo, Kirjači. Da si da sme. A je kakšen še tak? A jaz da Thomas HD, da vidimo, kako je igral. 22 so bili. 0 kilov, pa 20 so bili, kar slaba, ja. What should I watch? Ne vem, bojih si kaj. Kak ima YouTube toti, s kjer imaš muziko? Moramo povedati, da naredi pač YouTube, da si tudi YouTube kanal zrihta, ja, moramo povedati. Ker zdaj ima vse mešano on. On ima zdaj vse mešano. Kralj. Jaz pa ja, folk, ne bo zapravo, kot je ScorpLZ na šal, kakaj kupte, ali pa v Rocket League, ali pa Epic Gamesu na splošno, tako da hvala sem, ki me supportate, hvala vam. Boštjan! Kje si, Boštjan?
A spet nisi v finalu.
Ja, Boštjan, spet nisem v finalu. Boštjan, hvala ti, legenda, za 20 evrov. Boštjan, naslednji teden, v četrt finale pridem. Vem, da ni finale, ampak v četrt finale pridemo naslednji teden, v petek. 100%. Ja, moramo. Moramo. Boštjan, hvala ti, legenda, za 20 evrov. Kako si? Kako je kaj življenje, zdaj, ko imaš otroka? Chat, Bigzu je zelo všeč komad, tako da. Bigzu je zelo všeč muska. Dokdaj bo FNCS? Okoli do 1.10 bo tole trajalo. Zakaj? Tiska so top 3 grejo direkt v veliki finale, ja. Pač prejšnji teden je zmagal Benji, pa ne vem, kjer so bili še drugi, pa tretji, da so šli naprej. Inzel ni prišel v polfinale. Ja, sami slavi kritiki. Benji, ti tak ne maraš slovenskega rapa, tako da je tako ali tako ti ne bo všeč. Kako apni. A je po FNCS naredil Gartic Phone? Ej, ne vem še kako bo, ko moram video editati, res. Ej, kdaj bi, zdaj ko vsi lahko pišete, kdaj bi radi, da pride ven video, logo tega Boštjana, še 20 evrov, Boštjan! What? Hvala ti, model, še za 20-ko. Napisal je, ful se vse spremeni, tako da nimam časa še na stream pridat. Pogledat, ej, verjamem, pač. Veš kaj, po mojem, ko bo ene 3 leta star, boš imel ful več cajta, ko bo ene 3 leta... Čak, Boštjan, jaz sem pozabil, je ona ali ona. Zdaj se pa bed počutam. Abby! Does he have a daughter or son? Gledal si Sačka, če Boštjan, hvala ti, drgač, res legenda še za 20, pač insane support.
Pulser se spremení, tak da nemám kajta se na stream pridit pogledat.
You think so, Abby? A je že TaySon na bootcampu, vem ja. Če pozdravil sem Boštjan, punčko ali fantka. Še ime povedal, pa sem pozabil. Juško, sin? Jo, zdaj se pa bad počutam. Kjero pesem uporabljam pri stream staviti sem, da ni copyright. Ja, sam napiš no copyright muska, sam podat nisem neki full dobre, no. Kaj je Bootcraft? A ni Bootcraft en Minecraft server? A Bootcamp, misliš? Bootcamp si predstavljate, kakor camp recimo za košarko, pa fuzbal, ki greste tja, da trenirate, da ste skupaj, team building in tako. Matevže, oprosti, bo še enkrat sam pozabil, oprosti. Je on, okej. Pač ne, mislim, ja, bi kaj 3 leta star, vse več skačal kot sam. Ma ne vem. Ne vem. Verjamem, da jaz bi podrat bi otroka, ampak ful še nisem ready. Že tako nimam cajta. Kaj Pera je rekel, da ima v stenah zvočnike in da iz lukenc prhaja zvok. Ok, to je dost sick, to je dost sick. To je dost sick. XT 2 evra, kako smo? Ej, XT super sem, kako si ti? Hvala ti legenda za 2 evra, hvala ti. Kako si ti? Jaz sem super. Gičko, misliš, da me veš čez 9 mesecev že otroka? Dejte lik od kakve muske njegove. Chat, ko bo njegova muska, ko bo angliška muska dal, ko je res god, ko bo v zuni, boste vse zvedali, ok? Ker bom pomagal Gralu, da pač Gralu lahko uspe, verjamem, v angliščini mu lahko uspe, pač dejansko mu lahko uspe, ker ima res god komade. In bomo ga probali čim bolj boostati in vse, tako da. Znači, gremo zdaj member only chat. Zdaj, prej vam da member only chat, dejte prosim sam napisati, kdaj bi radi, da objavam video, kako zgleda moj dan. Ker dan. Ker takrat bom verjetan, ali ne bo na YouTube streama, ali neki, da bo pač tisto. Ker nisem zihar. Ne, jutri je cash cup, chat, jutri je cash cup. Danes ne more biti Ana, če moram še zeditati. Ker takrat, ko bo ta video, bom sam na trovotu streamal, okej? Ja, vsi pišete jutr moram streamati na YouTube turnir, chat. Danes daj member only chat, se bomo pa še pogovarjali. Ej, hvala vam drugače vsem za supporte. Res sem hvala vsem za donacije danes, pa se že full donira, ali res sem hvala iz srca, pač legende ste, res mi pomagate. Res ste insane, hvala vam.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the one thing you gotta look at this whole thing that's happening here.
Pač zato, ker fora je, da če jaz na trovotu streamam, TaySon ima kill, what? Če jaz na trovotu streamam, lahko uploadam na YouTube video, ker se ne kleša skupaj, ne zbije neki drugega, in hočem pač tako nekako narediti. Tako da maybe v tork, ja, v tork streamam na trovotu 6 ur, zato da ujamam top 500. Pa dam video na YouTube van. To bi bila po moje dober. Glej, Juško. Puša jih zdaj. Taki, en kill so dobili, ne? Na enemu od njih, verjetan. Tako da imajo 3v2. TaySon kar sam puša. TaySon na jajca. TaySon to zdaj full za serija. A, njihov je sam, ker te imajo split. Te splitajo.
I don't know what this man's doing, but I kind of respect it. This is the...
Kar solo gre.
I mean, once again, by himself completely. Now his trio's kind of moving in.
Vinči, ko mi včer sem editat začel.
Listen, he is trying to claim the
danes moram končati, danes po streamu bom končal.
Everyone does a POI. This man is trying to claim the top left of the island.
Ej, daj se prvi dom zdaj.
Hey, give him a few more quals to play, he might just claim the
whole map. Teammate že prhajata.
Build a bigger ramp next time.
To je drugač dobro, da pušajo. Mislim, da so probali, karkoli. Zaradi tega,
I mean, you talked about it, right, Sancho? Every time these guys are able to
zaradi Stone Surge-a. Sam itak zdaj ni strelil na čana.
That was kind of like, you know, your tone when you saw One Loss go down. They know that no one's walking in to Believer Beach. They can just go back home there now. They're kind of on their like little timeshare at Coral Castle now, just seeing what they can get.
Now we're taking a look at the second place team coming into this match. Link, Fury, Irezumi coming in.
Pinči, zdajle sploh ni toliko, da sem len dejansko. Bil sem.
I don't think they're contested this time around.
Pač ja, pred početnicem sem bil full len, sem rato. Ne vem zakaj, to moram fiksati. Ampak zdajle sploh ni toliko problem. Fora je, da full velik streamam. In če si šel zadnji cajt še za editanje, pač bi hodil spat spet, včeraj sem šel spat o 2:30 zjutraj, zato ker sem šel editat spet. In po noč ne ono, ne vem. Pač nimam nič časa za nobene take, da malo čilam ali pa karkoli. Zdaj zato komi čakam, da se šola začne, da lahko zjutraj pač grem lepo v fitness, zjutraj te stvari zrihtam, pa pol popoldne streamam, pa da imam pol zvečer cajta, pa pač popoldne ali kogarkoli. Zanimiv film, ja, definitivno zanimiv. Pač ni zdaj najboljši ta Space Jam, ne, pač. Ampak sem tako pač. Vsi skozi ta Deagle nosijo za tega očitno, če ga dobijo.
Responding back with bullets and let them know Fury's like, hey, I got a hand cannon, man. You're gonna peek again. I might be able to get a nice headshot. Here it is, zone 1 Shio, and
who's gonna
be able to find that home
field
advantage, so to speak, for this zone.
Napiš v chat klicaj Storm, pa ti bo ScorpLZ bot razložil.
From what I saw from TaySon, this has to be a complete advantage. Look at what they've done to Nikov's tree all the way towards the top. They made them retreat towards the shark.
Zakaj se ta voda tukaj na glas sliši?
Sharing a relic of a POI and probably not going to find anything. And then when they go back to Qual-al now, TaySon's basically taking everything away. And now they finally get the loot.
Ne, Free Guy bi rad pogledal. Me zanima. Sam nimam cajta, da šel sploh v kino.
But man, what an effect one individual can have with a knock early game.
Bojk si to zato, ker si fake basket fan.
The ripple effect is what you're looking for. As we're seeing Skype picking up an elimination on Kezix. I mean, Kezix is one of those people that as well, you know, moving, trying to find a home. This is what happens when it comes to trio plays. After this point right here, Shio, I don't think teams are going to switch. I mean, the series points is going to be a factor. Every time you switch this span, you go reset.
You know, that's what we'd like to think, but everyone gets emotional. And then week 3 comes around, the night before, crazy things end up happening, and you're with a new trio with big stakes on the line. You have to get maybe 1 or 2 teams of, you know, high tier and maybe doing that per season. But you're right, Sancho, this has to be a very good display today for a lot of these new trios together. This also has to be the week I feel like Kyriaki
successfully connected, piše. They probably zdaj klicaj Storm v chat.
Great, because not having the fight off spawn every single game, although Slurpee was slightly affected, I mean, it's a huge buff for these guys.
Now you're seeing Leo and Etsy here in the crosshairs of Kyriaki's trio, who are now looking to get a third-party elimination, as Etsy was colliding with the trio from Kezix coming from So you're seeing a lot of mobility and flexibility with these trios landing on this side of the map here. Now Kyriaki and Stormy Ryan too.
We're just trying
to see, hey, man, we're here. Maybe all right, we got attack. All right, I'm out.
Oh, okay, čakaj. En napisal ne radi nekam. What? A v chatu tega ne vidim. What? To je bilo hitrejše. Zdaj bi mogel delati. Zdaj bi mogel delati. Dajte še enkrat. Pinči, pri meni ni napisal. What? Jaz vam delaj, tle. Refreshat moram. Bom refreshal. Okay. Evo, zdaj pa dela, evo, dela. No, Abby, it was just really delayed. Because sometimes when you have chat open for a long time, it gets really delayed.
The early game sometimes, depending on who they're contested by in previous seasons, was
some refresh YouTube chat.
Now landing all the way over at Camp.
Okay, bot se izkonektu, tako da je v redu. Dela zdaj, dela. Ne vem, zakaj se prej ni izkonektu.
And then surge tags.
Evo, tiste, ki zanima, kaj je Stone Surge, preberite message od ScorpLZ bota. Če vam 2 stream decka, ne, mislim, enega sem razmišljal, da bi povezal z Gaming PC, ja, bom še videl. Oziroma, unga bom imel počel sem na couchu, da imam lažje stvari točen. To sem ga pol začel uporabljati.
There were like 50-50 land drops right there against Milwaukee. It was very messy, and that's why they finished in 21st place.
A stream moram še full zrihtati pol.
Understanding as well that Analyx's trio was making his appearance known. Malibuka making his rotation outside his team, so this fight has dragged on. That is Nate trio as well. So last time Nate trio got wiped up quickly.
Pač tem na botu je 100krat hitrej. Ja, na botu mi tako, dejansko sem videl tako 20 sekund prej, preden je meni sploh napisal.
Moving together by Malibu. Well, I thought that was a sniper shot. It was just a little tag there of an AR bullet.
I'm liking the themes between these two trios as well.
Za koliko kvina sestavim nek soliden komp. Za Jurija 500 imaš lahko pač že kar zelo dober komp. Pač jaz bi rekel, da v večini primerih, če imaš možnost, da našparaš 1500, našpari 1500 za komp, po moje, no. Pa če ga hočeš imeti, pač na malo daljši rok tudi, ne. Če boš nekaj za Jurija kupil, bi ga imel za 2 leti, pa še mogo še noga. Mislim, odvisno tudi kaj igraš, no. Sketchy! Plati legenda za 5 evrov.
Na 1K alikov tvrkas a ja pa 2x4 rama mam.
Jaz zdaj rekel, da moram za Jurija lajkov tvrkati. Se ne vem, če bo prišel do Jurija lajkov. Chat zadnje čase, ful ne pišejo srčkov v chat za donacije, ne lajkajo, tudi chat je ratolen, to zato, ker je vročina, 100%, vročina škoduje vsem. Hvala ti legenda za 5 evrov, hvala ti. 2x4 rame imaš. A je to boš med 2x4 drugač? Mislim, da je, ne? Najboljše med 2x4, kukar pa, ne, 4x4, kukar pa 2x8, ne? Je boš. Ja, ne?
See how that goes, but
yeah, 4x4 kukar pa 2x8.
Making a second appearance here in the qualifier stage to see if they can have a better result, considering that you know, not only they were being contested by High Crescent's trio, but they were also part of the third-party plans of Wolfie's trio. So Wolfie's and Milan and you know, they were, and Marine, they were all making that.
Chat, kaj se danes dogaja?
Last qualifier.
What?
Many changes from qual to qual, many changes also from season to season.
Limux!
Stays the same, and that's having, you know, all these guys outside the zone in very, very peculiar situations that are troublesome to get out of.
Hvala ti, legenda, in za zelo lep sporočil, in za 20 evrov, Limux. Hvala ti za support, res ti hvala. Evo, če, to mi je všeč, da takoj srčki padajo. Vem, da se zdaj membri sami, no, ampak to mi je všeč, da ne rabim omenjati. Limux, hvala ti, legenda, za support. Hvala ti res. Jaz vam reč 2x8, ker pol lažje upgradam RAM. To je res. Sicer Abi je rekel, da pa je boljši gaming performance, če imaš 2x, kukar 4x. Jaz imam 2x. En me je vprašal, kjero grafo imam. Jaz imam, Tomasa fajta. Jaz imam 3080 grafično. A nas je dobo kill.
And Thomas HD is here, and this is what's so important here. They cannot go down because the slide, you know, they're known to have a slow start, but this could be that kind of that quick start that they're looking for here in game 2.
Ker rajem najkupam, imam 8 giga. Čišar, pa ramo sam gled, da imaš ene 3000 speeda vsaj. Probi mi 3 ure 200 speeda, recimo, no, recimo 3 ure 200, pa 2x8, pač tako, to probi. Zakaj je Miško spet pri njih vidim, sem mislil, da je moja. Jaz sem recimo 3600 speeda, ne. Če ti rado dobiti, kup nekaj za 3 ure 600 speeda. Ampak 3 ure plus je že v redu, no? Je že dober. It depends on the motherboard, but most motherboards are dual channel and therefore there's no point in 4 sticks. 2 sticks would have bad performance. Abi prav, da je odvisno od matične, koliko imaš rama, kva je boljša, ampak večina matičnih ima narejen tako, da sta 2 stika boljša ka 4, ja, to da vete. Zdaj vete. Pa če kdaj upgradate, da imate recimo samo enkrat 8 giga rama ali pa kaj tazga, ne kupati še enkrat 8 giga rama, pa druge firme, pa drugega speeda, to je najslabše, to ne smete narediti. Nujno morata biti rama 2 ista, to da boste vedeli.
And we know One Last's trio is not looking at 100%. TaySon threw a big wrench in their early looting pass, sent them all the way to the shark. The shambles of the shark. This is going to be an easy win for Passive, and they just understand what's on they're fighting up against.
Absolutely, but they might get a little bit too desperate for this because they have
moram mnoge delati, pa sploh ne vem, kdaj bom imel cajt. Se moram tudi ugred pol še za cash cup. Vem, da jutr frej, v ponedeljkih nikoli nema nekaj časa, pa gremo tork lepo noge narediti. Oj, da bom lahko kam dal.
Passive went with the inflatable rotate, gets sent out of that state, and now this is not looking good as Baffo gets taken out by Podesai on the backside. We talked about a desperate team and Podesai one lets a sneak up, but Passive, he left the barn door open there.
Najboljši ti je gost jagodni sok, jagodni sok, gost jagodni sok je meni nekaj najboljšega. Res nekaj najboljšega.
2v3-2, but Storm's ticking might be an extra member for Passive sided to use that pressure properly. Not going to be possible though, has to base up, has no white med, so this is going to be a timer of 15 seconds, now 14 on the side of Passive. He's trying to go for it, it's not possible though, he's going to get ticked out.
There is 3 trios waiting for this to wrap up, so this trio right now is just trying to get as much elimination points as possible here.
Pa še medkit, ja, GG's, mrtvi so.
Shady's in trouble here, yeah man, this is one of those engagements that at the end of the day, you just had the bill, they gave you the bill and you're like, I don't got any cash for this, man.
Vuelta je dirka po Španiji, pač kolesarstvo. Okay.
They're going to keep watching him inside the lobby before the next game starts too, but we'll see Stena actually having I guess, the smartest rotation of all time here, right? They were the first ones to start eating zone, basically.
Reče si povedal, me ni bilo na streamu, sorry. Limux, pač, zelo sem se ti zahvalil. A ja, za komad sprašuješ. Komad, danes smo naprej poslali neke materijale, te, ki bo editala, ki je tudi snemala. Tako da zdaj sam čakamo, da ona pač vse zedita, pa gre pa komad ven. Zdaj bo šel komad ven, bo verjetno na YouTubeu ne bo streamal kakšne 2 dni, tako da se malo pohajpa komad, okej? A bojo streame vmes vsem, pa pač skozi omenjava, ne? Po mojem to najboljš. Bomo videli. Pač ful hočem nahajpat komada, ne?
This man is not going to have to deal with gravity. I know Superman just showed up to the island. That man defines gravity as well. Can TaySon, the Superman, be, you know, of the EU region, be able to fly his way into the sun today? I think so, but man, there's just nothing scarier than see TaySon sitting up there on that anti-gravity zone.
Ne, Limux, ne iz svega kanto lajkat. To nimam jaz nič od tega. Ja, Pinči, če hočeš ti lahko pokažem, lej. Sam pač fora je, da vem, da ti ne maraš slovenskih komadov. Pač folku je všeč, unika poslušajo slovenske rap komade, a ne?
You've been looking at their stats, you've been looking at their history when it comes to games.
Kaj ne?
This season particularly, you've been seeing them get more eliminations. You know, historically what they do in the previous seasons is they get the placement points, but they get 4, 5, 6 eliminations, and that's
Bom počakal, da daš ven.
Okay.
Ok.
We saw them last time, they come so close.
Pač upam, pač me je najbolj strah, kako bo zgledal video spota, ne? Upam, da ne bo screen zgledal. Pač vem, da eno folku itak ne bo všeč, ne, se to itak logično. Ajde, folks, stisnite like, pa ne bo zaporabiti, tako da ScorpLZ na šobu. Hvala vam vsem, ki me supportate, tako da res sem hvaležen.
You know, just one top 5, one top 10, that could throw your whole competition outside the top 3.
And that's what I was concerned about. We didn't see them last qualifiers here in this season, but as well as, hey, they were there in the heats too, and they just fell out. So they know it. Hey, the pressure could be on, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. What's their mental like when it's going to have to be a clutch or don't fall situation. Picking up an elimination on Lihu kontra je ponovati, tako da boste vedeli. Trio now pushing the way through. Now you see Kamisei Teak, you see Sky's Trio, you see Reason Vino and
TaySon. Vsi so splitani tako malo.
They claim Believers Beach, they push all the way a team to Coral, but they claim Holly Hatchery. It's all
Pa še sami so v Holliju. Tako da god.
4 down, 1 to go.
Skaj še €1.33. Meni lahko tvrkaš brez izgovorov, pa $300 PC imam pa v redu dela, lamao. Kako ti za $300, mislim, dar, če ne gejmaš neki full, ti lahko v redu dela. Pa drugač za €1.33. Ne vem, Jurija lajkal tvrke tako, no. Včasih sem tvrkal za €2.500, €3, ne za Jurija. Tako da nekog se splača. Reče, evo, Jurija 500 dan tvrk, ajde, ne Jurija. Jurija je premal, A što smo včasih skozi dosegali. Mora biti nekaj tako, bom dal Jurija 500, ker je zdaj v teh časih zelo težko dobiti, evo, ajde. I like how you value your tvrk, spravi. Sej to, Pinči, sej to. Pa sploh ni toliko problem, Pinči, da manj folka gleda, ampak folk dejansko tudi manj lajka zdaj, se mi zdi. Ker ni šans, da imamo 400 folka zdaj, ki gleda, pa imamo sam 200 lajkov več. Vsi so leni ratali. Z mano vred.
You would expect like all this conditioning might take a few games in that lobby. This is the first time lobby of these players is playing together. It's only 10 trios that have played in last week's Qual-al.
Ker si jajce na glavo vrgu za lajke enkrat. To res, koliko je bilo to lajkov, se si jajce razbil? 3 Jurija ali koliko, ne? Ali celo več? Ti stream je bil insane. A je bil en event, če se ne motam. A je bil Galactus event, ker sem rekord podarval, ne? Lajko pa tega. Tebi, kaj če bi ti to rajš na moj Discord napisal, ne tle? Ko je kaj enkrat dobiš toliko donacij pa sao glede davkov? Jaz, ko vam SP plačujem zaenkrat 4%. Pa 4%, a ne? Zdaj, če doniraš preko superchata, YouTube pobere 30%, ampak to ni davka, ne? Toliko YouTube pobere, da YouTube tudi zasluži. Drugač pa jaz davkov plačujem 5%, 4% plačam, a ne? Od tega, kar zaslužim, pač vse skupaj. On screen get taken out on Link Fury's side, so it's up for grabs as well. That's huge for Seti Kemi Teak we were just watching before. But these guys, every time there's a high ground team kind of working for them. Če pa slučajno enkrat zaslužim več kot 50,000 v enem letu, imaš pa pol 40% davkov, nekaj tazga, kar je insane. Ampak, če bom jaz kdaj bliz 50 jurjem na let, bom veren rato.
Thomas HD's trio is still up in this fight.
Pač, to je pa res insane denar, ne?
Matter of moments to the end game of game 2. Now we're on board here with Safix trio with 4 eliminations here. They're in the safe and remember
Če donira YouTube. Če gre preko superchata, ja, Ana. Če gre preko superchata, ja, drugač ne. Pač PayPal mislim, da dejansko nič ne pobere, če se ne motam. A ne, Abi? PayPal mislim, da dejansko ne pobera. Ali je neki? Kaj ga pinči? Mislim, je res, da Trovo mi lahko ful pomaga, ne? Da bom lahko veliko boljši življenje imel. Pač, da zdelam poreg YouTube-a še na Trovo tu. Ker bo itak sam več streamov, kakor sem že omenil. Ko bom šel nazaj na 3-urne streame na YouTube po počitancah, pa bom pa še na Trovo tu zvečer streamu, tako da bo 6 ur streamov polo, tako da bo več, kakor je bilo včasih mačola. Zato bomo lahko še videe dajo na YouTube. Oh yeah, I do remember, ja. PayPal, ja, točen, ja. Točen. Nekaj pobere, ja. Točen, ja, chat, pri PayPalu je tako, da če je 1 evro, oni poberajo 40 centov. Pa tem, če en donira 10 evrov poberajo tako tudi par centov. Tako da je ful, tam je razlika. Ali to itak nima veze. Vse donacije itak mi pomagajo, to je važno. TaySon spet height, insane.
We'll keep an eye on that because Red Ross and Exteriors are gliding on through another dangerous trio on the low ground. It is 2 Storming Right and Kirachi who already had
Vino je nokan.
Coming into 4th place, but Vino gets knocked. Vino gets knocked. Let's see how that rolls out in the feed as
Mislim, ja, pinči, 30% je kar velik. Čeprav na Trovo tu 50% zgubiš, ne? Onga eliksirja. Ker Trovo pobere 20%, pa pa še Google 30 ali nekaj tazga. Ampak na Trovo tu itak je tako, Trovo ti itak plačuje, a ne? Trovo itak plačuje streamerje, tako da ti itak nekak pač rajš to vidiš, pa da plačuje streamerje, kakor pa... Pač ravno tako, kad Trovo dela, bi mogli vse streaming platforme delati, da dejansko plačujejo te, ki delajo za njih. V bistvu mi streameri delamo za njih, a ne? Kaj je Veno umrl, niso več na hajtu, slaba. Ima TaySon teammate-a. Otle enega dubu. 11 above. Mora se bigat. Evo, ni več Surge'a. Nice. A se TaySonu splača od tega biga speed? Tarav en go bit. Da se mora spet pit biga. Leo Skyt Esti na hajtu. Sem se da me je spet hajt oni. Ne vem kako je Veno umrl. Kako so šli v call zona, to je bilo ful lepo. TaySon je dubo kill, Rizan je nokan. Mislim, TaySon je dubo nok. Tako da sam še TaySon je živ. Ne, TaySon je umrl. Rip. Ne vem, kjeri so bili. Ne vem, kjeri so bili. Piči, launchpadi so skozi spagani. Spagani so, kako kaže.
Thomas HD be able to rack up a little bit more in placements. And we're getting closer and closer to the top 5. You see Pudra getting a knock on Kira. You see Lysen getting an elimination on a Nos right there, getting confirmed. So can Thomas HD blaze through these builds, work his way through? No time to get the med kit. He's trying to get a little bit of moment to breathe as the storm is breathing down his neck. He's trying, here it is. I think he's able to pop it off, so that's going to give him some very valuable HP going into the last engagement that we have here. XC's trio from the last place going into this match does have a high ground position.
Kiračbeti so bili, mislim, da četrti pred to igra. Thomas mrtev. Free kill.
Takes them out, Lysen and Mappy eviscerated in an instance. Trixie and Toos will find that combination elimination, and now will be to see exactly which one of these 4 trios end up on top. SD has the biggest chance. They're beaming all the way top down. Toos finds a way to dodge the line of sight. There's headlights right now that everyone's trying to hide from.
Pa delata. Stormi pa Toos, zdaj le uničujeta. Zdaj le uničujeta.
Sights down, now a different trio in the front box. Toos is trying to find a way to get the triangle edit, but it's not going to be possible. He backs up slightly. One HP on
Bamata Chuck Cannon. Mislim, Chuck. Ja, se Chuck Cannon, ne? Ne, kaj je to? Ma ne vem. To je zmagal. Ja, tega so imeli Hajca zmagal. Hajt je itak insane. Hajt je insane.
Etsy, Leo and Sky getting some great elimination.
Zdaj vas malo spustim z zapora. Ma da vidim GG so chatu. Ma da vidim GG so chatu. Evo. Gremo pogledat. Ok. Evo, Kirjači, Stormi pa tu so zdaj prvi. Teli, TaySon mi je znan, ampak ne bo spet. TaySon je padel iz prvega na 3. mest, ampak samo 2 točki so v zadnji, tako da bili so pa 10 so bili sam z 2 killama. Ok, ja, to je bil dejansko slab game, ko so ga me zdala. Teli so bili 4. pa 3. 7. drugi, 2-6 killov. Tako da. Thomas je prišel zdaj na 9. mesto. Ne kako so zdaj Hajc govejo. TaySon pa tej. Ne vem kako. Ko igra v finale? Direkt v veliki finale jih gre top 3. Prav, 3 qualifierji, z vsakega qualifiera gre 3 timi direkt v finale. Se pravi, to je 9 timov. In pa Urnika so bili top 3 v prejšnjem velikem finalu, so tudi že noter. Se pravi, 12 triotov je že noter. Pa imajo pa... Oziroma ni jih 12, ker je TaySon splitil, tako da jih je 11 triotov za zihar noter. Kar pomeni, da bo en reboot round več. Namesto 3 reboot roundov bojo vsaj 4. Tisto je tiska zmaga, gre direkt v finale, pol to je čist na konc. Predtem so pa hiti, ki so v bistvu govor polfinale in z vsakega hita gre... Koliko gre iz vsakega hita, čat? 3 hiti so ponovad. Če jih gre... Koliko jih gre ponovad? A jih gre 6? A jih gre top 6 iz vsakega? A? A jih gre 6? To je 18, to bi bilo 30 plus... Ja, to bi bilo 30 plus 3 rebooti. Ja, ja, top 6 iz vsakega hita. Top 6, ej, Sketchy, hvala ti res. Top 6 iz vsakega hita jih gre pol naprej v veliki finale. Unika so bili pa od top 7 do top... Koliko se pravi... 11 jih placeov, se pravi top 7 do top 18 grejo pa v reboot rounda igrati pol. In če reboot round zmagaš, greš v finale. In to je to. Nekaj na ta način, ja. Nekaj na ta način. Kako si? Jaz sem super, chat. Kako gre TaySonu? Tretji je, z drugo igro so malo slabše odigrali. Tretji je. Ko igre v semi se? Se pravi, polfinale v bistvu so tukaj hiti. 3 hiti so in vsakemu hitu je 33 triotov, ne? Se pravi, 99 timov gre v bistvu v polfinale, če tako gledaš. In iz vsakega hita gre top 6 ljudi direkt v veliki finale, pa je pa sam še reboot round, kad igra, da dobijo tiste 3 spote, oziroma ta FNCS 4, ker je TaySon splitu. kljub temu, da bi bil direkt v finalu. Zdaj bomo šli v tretjo igro. Ni top 6, top 3 je. A top 3 je, Abi. Zi v hitu. Ne, Abi. Not today, but in hits is top 6. Not top 3. A zvečer bo trovo stream. Ne, danes ne, moram editati video še. Ni pa Abi. A niso semisi glede na series pointe? Ja. Se pravi, pač te polfinale, to so v bistvu hiti. In v hit prideš glede na te točke, ko dobiš. Se pravi, tudi če nisi prišel v finale, pa si bil, ne vem, 3 zapored v polfinalu, imaš lahko dosti točk, da prideš pol v te hite, a ne? Na čemu ti editaš? A vide editam, če misliš vide, na Vegasu editam. Če misliš v gameu, na ga. Mongrel je že v hitih, ja, eni pravijo, da ja, le bomo videli. Kjer je bil, a je on bil sploh v polfinalu včeraj, Mongrel?
Teams, I should say. So, you know, you'd expect these guys to maybe pick up a bit of form once again. Game two, we'll see how.
Yeah, that's what I said.
One of the things is these teams have no ego. They moved their drop spot after
Kaj sketchy si zasral, ali kaj?
previous seasons as well. So big up to them.
Najverzal si definitivno bolj slače. Pozdravljam z moje sebe, pozdravljam stalo. Kaj pomeni, da je TaySon splitu? TaySon je imel en trio, ki so bili, ki so prejšel na FNCS bili, ne vem, kjeri so bili, pozabil sem že. Drugi ali tretji. In so bili direkt, in tisti, ki so v velikem finalu top 3, grejo direkt v naslednji na FNCS, direkt v finale, a ne, tretji, okej. Grejo direkt v veliki finale, ampak on ni več s istim triotom, ker pomeni, da pač se tisto izniče, ne? In mora spet igrati. Če ne, mi TaySona tukaj ne bi sploh gledali. Tako je vojn, no? Hvala ti, skečil naprej. Moja igra dvakrat top 250, nimo pa 33 ratal. Aha, okej. To je dosti dobro, da igrač za... Pa enoč, gremo nazaj v member only chat. Nazaj v member only chat, postavite se. Evo, 3, 2, 1. Sem videl slova, smo na začetku streama gledali.
You were talking about lots of things happening last game in terms of, you know, Thomas HD and Austin Flick. Are these guys going to be able to...
Kakšen split te igrajo? Kako to lendajo?
We see Nate go down to Malibuca.
To me zanima.
The B-Genius boys be able to, you know, or be genius depending on where you're coming from with the, you know...
Ta spotlight drugač gota, ne, tuk često. A uriske lendajo?
You know, way to pronounce it. I can never forget.
Pover, TaySon je tretji. TaySon je tretji. Ajmo, gremo tudi relajko. Pa ne bo zabravo, ko je ScorpLZ v šobu. Hvala vam vsem, hvala.
Jules picking up elims. This game starting out so much faster than before, Sancho, but you notice only one trio has gone down. A lot of these fights are going back and forth.
Yeah, Bony Burbs are going at it, but the Steamy Stacks. But the kind of boys on the desk kind of talked about it a little bit.
Ooh, Llama so
dubal. It looks like Vino is going to get himself a nice llama right there. Of course, the moving llamas, and Vino was able to corral that llama on top of the roof. But look at that, Malibu getting both labs there. So look, this is what's happening right here. I'm quite surprised that Ziku and then with Sun and Jules are having issues with Jackie's trio. I mean,
okay, zaenkrat je, ja.
We felt like, remember like we were yesterday, the qualifier one, we're like, where's Jules? I mean, they're up and coming. We became a fan of them over the previous season, considering that they pushed out Analyx outside of Caddy Corner. We're like, yo, this might be a trio to keep an eye on. They didn't show up last qualifiers, and here they are struggling here in qualifier 2.
Definitely having a few issues.
Luce 86 po 4 pointih, okay. Oni tudi pol še lahko.
He is fighting right now. We see the previous
second
place Warriors fall down the ranks a little
bit. Se zdaj Lamo, kar je huge.
Lazy Lake still uncontested. That is a huge pedestal to jump off of to have nice games. And yeah, there's a knock on a Mustache. Still nothing happening there, though. I think one of the most impressive things to look at, too, Sancho, is, you know, we saw this from Hengenis Chapix last season. The FNCS finals contested over and over again in a POI that's kind of, you know, hard to fight at.
TaySon made easy 400 today. Aj, kako misliš, kako je TaySon dobil 400 danes?
Over at Corny Complex, they're finishing fights very quickly. The third game, they've won again. That's huge, and now we're going to jump straight to it. You'll see them against Bad Sniper.
Zakaj je TaySon $400 danes dobil?
But these guys are up against the same trio once more, barely even affected on shield, disrespecting.
A ja, solo cash cap je bil 10, ja, okay.
Spraying all the way in, maximum confidence. It's all down to just Bad Sniper now. It looks like to kind of clean things up completely. It looks like a third-party situation, though, for these guys. They're going to have to just bunker down in the base.
Yeah, Bad Snipers trio. They were coming from previously in Weeping Woods, and now they're trying to try here at Corny Complex. And Stena, who's the last qualifiers here, is showing that they're not going to be an easy pushover this time around. Ori going to go ahead and see if they could get any kind of tags here, but Bad Sniper is in a bad position for this moment here as the
Llama! Oh my god!
What is this?
Oh my god!
Not only that that's a second llama here. So what does this mean, Child? They're gonna have the ability to have mobility. They might get a chug cannon as well. So much great value. Of course, you talked about the mats and the resources and that, but it's the chug cannon and the launch pads are gonna be something that they're there it is. That means they're gonna have so much mobility, add flexibility as well, and in game.
Scorp, Rejac te pozdravlja. A Rejac ali Rejac? Uglavnom, pozdrav ga nazaj. Pozdravljam tudi ti.
I mean, what do I have to do to be as lucky as TaySon? Do I have to grind as much?
So you have to just be a part of the script. That's all it is we see this horrific side of 3 sniper rifles in that Sun's knock body. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. But, you know, in game 2, the script was TaySon keeps popping off. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. So the script writer was like, okay, let's give him 2 llamas. You know, there's no way.
Lama dlje časa umira kad to tira. Pinči! Ne moraš reći da s toboj igramo kao trio. Dejansko smo dobri. Najboljši trio do zdaj imam. Ko pač nikoli nisem imel toliko šans da kvalamo. Sam te teške lobije še popravimo in to je to, ko smo top 1000. Tako da tišina. Pinči, to je že zdaj naprej, da sem bil top 1000 cel turnir v bistvu. Zdaj pa sam še ta preskok naredimo, da smo na koncu turnirja še top 1000. In to je to. Nice, taki ni panike. Važno je, da je napredek zdaj končno po dolgem cajtu. A veš. Pinči, zdaj pravim pač, sam še ti smo moramo popraviti.
Of quite a sticky situation developing. I'm taking a look. There's
a
trio that's sitting at Cynic Point that could send things that way. And that trio is Miles and Betty, so they would have an advantage, but let's see what's going to go down here. Is Steel's trio. And look, the pursuit is on! Then the car tipped over. We always see cows getting tipped over, but the car tipped over here.
Pa sam prav, da nikoli nisem bil toliko blizu, da bi bil dejansko občutek, da lahko kvalamo.
Now Rev is going to be up. Man, these insta bulls just create so much zaniness that's happening right here in Corny Complex.
That is better, nice.
What would win? An industrial vehicle that's been built in a factory with wheels and mechanical parts, or one little balloony cowboy? We'll see right now. Esteda's on his last feet, last udders, last legs. Ori now kind of got him out of the base. There's no way to go back, and Roban's half HP on the revive timer as well.
Pustio da mu ga je finišu.
Cheeky knock finish.
Co nema je bilo to dobro da je pustio. Po moje da dobi meca, I guess.
14 bullets. He'll have to land every single one and take no damage. It'll be trouble. And the cow can't save you now, my friend.
Watch right now. Can the cow jump over the moon? They're plating the dishes. Dinner is done. Time to eat. The milk's gone sour. So many other things we could throw out there. But Steel's trio was able to close that out. Ori. It looks like Dr. Sloan's not going to have any piece of that. She wants a piece of this action.
Abby, after the stream, could you come downstairs so that you see how much, like, what I've done with Day in My Life?
Well, I was watching a 3-minute-long meme, and it's just getting crazier and crazier. Thomas HD trying his classic snipe shot. Ori's like, listen, man, I'm dealing with enough pain right now. I don't need this.
Dr. Sloan's going in. She's not only that,
Dr. Sloan boti so najbolj.
Oh my goodness, that was just a classic hoot
Nisam leseni, pač annoying.
That's what we call it down there in Texas, but going to
oni so bili prvi
all the way across the map here in a different kind of situation, a lot calmer, I would say. It is Kirachi here. And Kirachi, you know, they're sitting right now in the #1 spot. It's up to them to hold on and not to slide down. And we've seen them be able to hold on to this spot before last season, able to qualify in the top 3.
I see Dustin slurping down. They get the make not only a quicker rotate because there's less loot toward this gas station, but they're able to just control more space of the map entirely. One of the biggest things for Slurpy Swamp is just getting locked down too long over their looting. You know, just trying to greed as many chug shields as well as possible, so you don't have to use your own minis, but it takes so much time. You run out of position. You don't get to be able to get too many surge tags as well, but it looks like Kiriachi's on top of things this time.
A TaySon trio še vedno believer biču, a? Ide ga čila, ja, ne rabijo noč. Sad nema so surge tagi dubala, ne. Prej svojim probleme s surgeom pol že v movingu.
The big question mark is what is TaySon's trios going to do? Last time they had her gifted the zone, the home field advantage, it didn't go their way. And you know what ended up happening is the Storm Surge fans started to boo them essentially, and all of a sudden their game got upended here. So we're keeping an eye on that as you see Podosai and Wanlas here, who were victims to an earlier push from TaySon, getting a couple of knocks and eliminations.
Arabafo's still hired for the halftime show, it looks like, every single game. Once we get towards, you know, zone 1, closing the zone 2, they're doing something crazy in the middle of the map. Big box fight this time, they won't be able to win it, you're right. Yeah, for
TaySon je, mislim da direkt na sredini zona zdaj, pa skor. Pa je še zmeru believer bič.
Like they did that first game, it was up against Versa.
Ana, zato ker je, what do you mean?
You know, have a very weird relationship with one of these boxes somewhere.
My relationship
with Thomas
HD's trio is hoping that they're able to get into the top 3. They're my prediction. And as I watch with bated breath, we switch over to Pleasant Park here on the northeast side. And is Miles, who was out there and seeing
ena nova lokacija bo tork prišla, imam jaz občutek, ker je Fortnite neki tweetu drugače.
Nuances of box fighting, but sometimes a good old-fashioned SMG spray will be enough just to get you in, and that's what Waffler's trying to do. Unable to grab the wall as he wanted to, he's going to go ahead and retreat and hopefully find a different angle. And these are the kind of engagements, Shia, when you have two trios lined up basically on the same angle, like on the same 2 lines. It just becomes a matter of like, can you get a grid further? Can you get around them to create a pinch? And right now, Peach's trio, no one has this advantage, so it's a stalemate.
That's just a hard no. They have to wait. Nope. Nope.
Exactly.
And false advertising too, in terms of this POI's name, Pleasant Park. Always realize we tune in, it's never pleasant. It should be like tape you can remove from the first word. It says punishing park. Or like pleasant punishment. I don't know. There's got to be a rebrand.
I agree. It goes all the way back to chapter 1.
It was one
of those places you knew you needed to get eliminations. You go to Pleasant Park as your starting point.
I thought free guys skin chat.
There's always trouble every time, all the way up to the second zone, almost closing at the park. Too slow. He is just jumping. No builds, don't care. Thomas HD finally lands his 5th sniper shot inside that bush, all the way onto Fury. I mean, these guys are looking so good. 2nd place the game before, and now they're just dropping down the ranks. Thomas shouldn't even be close by right now. It had to have been a sniper shot. No, they actually closed all the way in. Thomas HD low on HP. He's gonna be all the way down to 1.
Yeah, he can
still move his legs. Meanwhile, though, Fury, he's kind of stuck in quicksand. I'm not sure where Thomas's teammates are for the moment. He might have just overreached on this one. It's gonna be a little bit of trouble.
Link's trio is right now in shambles as Link is the only one left, but there's multiple trios invested into this scrum right now, looking for any kind of cheeky bullet to steal an elimination as well, get valuable Storm Surge tag. Flick gets an elimination here, so Flick is still on his feet. Flick is one of the most very prolific, you know, fraggers of that trio as well. Just to be able to
I don't know if it's like a second edit
points
style
as well as a placement.
I don't know if it has one or not.
It's going to be very valuable if he can stay on his feet here. Let's take a look at Anas, Thomas HD. Anas finally picks up Thomas HD, so they're looking good. And look at that. Bobby's trio is going to cause a distraction, and no doubt Thomas HD is going to have to disengage from this. But I don't know if it's looking good, Shire. You have another trio
okay, Sunday Moshki. Okay.
And Link, all you got to do is just get out. Above, just get out as much as possible. Of course, you know, back in the chapter 1 days, people just use that out, but that ain't gonna happen here in chapter 2. No way.
Too valuable to use this early, but they might be forced to. This
zone
fight. I mean, it might seem smart for now, but there's so many.
It's
a crazy snipe. Can't turn it into a knock at all. That might just turn the tides though for the fight. Gives these guys a little bit of room to breathe. Just look though, 1, 2, 3, 4 trios on your screen, and I think 3 more off of it, looking as audience members to this crazy play. I don't know who the main characters are, but what the story is, but it's just too much to handle.
Yeah, we call that in the theater business the peanut gallery out there, making a noise, causing a ruckus, disrupting the show that's happening here with Anas and Thomas HD and Flick in this battle with Iris. trio now let down to a duo. And look at this, the rotations is on right here. Zone 3 is going to make all these people here kind of fight as they're going to move along.
Da hoćem vidjeti kakšen search ima TaySon po te. Veno je double kill. To očitno sam rabao search neje pa sam šli pušat.
But we're still focused here on Flick, Anas, and Thomas HD, who are coming into this match in 9th place. And remember, chat, it's top 3, and I'm saying chat because I'm talking to you out there watching the show.
Absolutely. These guys, I mean, this is going to be the game to basically start to level up completely. Mistakes still might happen. A refresh
free launch pad. Free launch pad.
But that is huge to get the mats all the way top. Lifted Bobby, he's going to take it personal though. Gonna try to retake those walls. He has the room to play a little bit. Just look though, Sancho. Still, every single different boxes, bodies and situations. Down below on the bottom left, there's a teammate trying to get revived. This is now a multi-layered fight, top down instead of just horizontally. Thomas is seeing Flick made it onto a bridge. These guys gotta get out. The zone is now super
res je ena muska, kadar takole predvaja, tako taka ena. Čak, en je nokan od Taysonovega triota, on ne. Reason je low. Tayson je mrtv. Zdaj cajte neki čovkajo finala. Mislim, to da so bili top 4 niso čovkala, ne, ampak. A Tayson je imel tudi tale Bendigan. Zdaj ga ta rebootat. Pa, rebootala ga bota, ne? Tako da. Kvanta free reboot, čeprav? Ne, oni ne bojo šli, oni ne bojo jih. Dobar. Majster masivo pampo, what? No, Abby, I checked, it's not Spotify. Tišina, pozdravljam, vi ste dete membri, hvala ljubi za tišina, kako si? A Peter Kranc, spomnite me, ej, chat, ko dam za vse, da ni member only chat po tej igri, me spomnite, da vam napišem, okej? Da vam napišem, da vam pokažem, no, kaj je Fortnite tweetu, da bo v torek prišel. Pa šlo, da se bo Shark spremenil, ne vem, kje bo ti. Eni pravi, da je to kao v Sharku, ne pa ne.
And they're going to be looking good. That's at least what you would think, but look at Reason's inventory. 300 metal. That's it. There's not much to find on this island.
Meci so zelo slabi. Meci so. Oni rabi en trio tle ubiti. Nujno. Če hoče kaj narediti.
Stay alive right now, Sancho.
You talking about where's the finest style? It's right there. Jules' trio is going to be the thing that they have. Reason understands that. He pops some peppers in order to try to make the push. They want these eliminations, not only for the points, but those resources that you're talked about it. Here it is. Can Jules' trio and Zico and Stun be able to slow down Vino, TaySon, and Reason right now? This is the only trio that could have it, considering that TaySon just got rebooted. So they're not going to have a lot of firepower. They have to split that all between the two. And look at it. The zone, it's 75% aquatic here. Things are going to get wet and wild going into the final zone.
Aja, TaySon, če tele ubijate.
But there still is a big hurdle for Reason, TaySon, and Vino to cross.
Lep shot od 72.
72 by Reason. How many times can they actually do that, though? Sun will be able to probably take a 50 and a mini.
Okay, nimajo bigov slučajno. Okay. To je dobar, to je bil dobar damage.
If they want to wipe out this squad, the longer this engagement goes,
the
worse it is for Reason, TaySon, and Vino.
TaySon je bil tretji pred to igro. Sam zdaj le fusno pokaže.
That it is TaySon's trio down below, and they were able to hold out.
Yeah, this is big for Kiriachi as well. Placed first in Qual-2 last season, so maybe it's kind of like, you know, they take 1 week to get a problematic trio out of the way. They land 30th place. It is what it is. But then
it is what it is.
They just want to Qual this way. It's kind of like their narrative overall.
And that's why Reese picked them. That was his prediction. I know, and numbers don't lie. These are all creatures of habit, and Reese is out there being like the David Attenborough. Yeah, he's being like, you know, he knows, this man knows everything here. And this is where here, Kiriachi's still running 2. No eliminations so far in game 3, but they are sitting in first place right now, able to get 5 more placement points. And Nikov gets a knock on Woodsy.
Da vidimo. Da vidimo, če tole najmaj TaySon že umrl nije, ne?
Before it does, but I have to assume Kiriachi has to be higher on Surge. There's no way
nujno rabi oni kile da biti nujno.
This base, if that was a thing, and there it is. Yes, 187. They're gonna be looking good, and man, I think this is the third time I'm seeing this from Kiriachi, Stormrat, and Toos. They keep waiting for people to tarp above them and then break them down for maybe finding one free elimination. It's 4ZR above them this time, Sancho. It's not a random first-time squad rolling in. These are experienced players at the hands of Kiriachi, Stormrat, and Toos.
You always gotta watch out for people under the builds because they'll come up and snatch you. And what I've also been seeing as well is Alex's trio, no matter who he's with, trying to go for hype, but automatically gain Swift. Etsy and Skype right now in a world of trouble.
Okay, free.
Hello, open up in it, greeted with the 105, blue pump shot. Skype gets eliminated, and that look hot. I like that.
One of the hardest things to do when you're in a, position of pressure from down below.
TaySon je double kill, pa Veno tudi. Ubili so folk, let's go. Reason je knock-on dal. Sam mislim, da je Waffler je umrl. Tako da chillajo. Nice. Dovolj so refresh. Itak imajo Bandigan, tako da bojo pohilali Reasona.
On Pizza's trio. Reason does get knocked, so that's going to slow down. TaySon right there on his rotation. There's Razine, zone 5. Oh my goodness, going deeper into Qual-al Castle. And now you're going to have to deal with the water. But
nice, lepa, lepa. To je bilo, Divinzi, to je bilo huge. To je bilo res huge. Saj še vedno imajo Mets nima najboljše, ne?
And Vino be able to make their way through. They're sitting in a good position. They've rotated through.
Skor so ga dropali, skor so ga dropali. Skor. To bi bilo huge zdaj.
Where they all have to basically stick together in the same box and roll every single wall down. Roll every pyramid.
Rabijo dropat folk, rabijo jih dropat.
Floor just away from them and make sure they can drop anyone into their box and just spray them down in the matter of an instant. The issue is no one is faltering. Defense is just too high.
You see Lazen's trio in fourth place as well. So again, top 3 get in, and this is what's at the stake here. You have TaySon in 3rd, and you have on the top right of your screen, that is Kira's trio in 4th, and you can on the left, that is what we're dealing with.
Imajo 4 kile, kar je dosti nice že. Rabijo dobiti en orange refresh. Cel tim, ne samo enega playera, ampak dejansko rabijo en cel tim dobiti.
Zone finally closes in, the south side of Qual-al.
Zato tudi se kako bo zone šel, ne?
Welcome to the water park. You're right, Sancho.
Tle bojo probali dobiti. Ta kill, ta loot rabijo dobiti od tega. Pod njimi. TaySon pospevan. Nisem videl, da je Vino knock-on. Rezajo ga lahko ga rezajo, lahko ga rezajo. Lahko ga rezajo. Čeprav težka. Spemajo.
You talking about lurking behind the walls and what a monster it is. It's Toos's trio, and they're pushing on through. That's the first spot. As Seti gets confirmed on Dino and Cammy and Reason, and Cammy's here as well. So 2 monsters knocking on TaySon's door. As the zone you talked about pulling south, but it's also pulling up and over the waterfall too. So that's going to be very scary for TaySon. Not only dealing with it, all the people and the enemies in front of him, but I think TaySon's going to be able to sneak his way through. And Alexis is getting knocked right now, so that's going to be an opportunity.
Če tole klača pa dobi kakšne placemente, je že god. 0 meco ima, jep, GG. Rip TaySon. Tam, ki je umrl, ne, so vse zgubali v urmo fajtu. To je problem, ker niso kontestani, rabo so zasrčali in so pač zgubali enega. Ma ne, Divinzi, te launchpadi so zbagani. Če imaš enega, ti kaže tako, kar je tle. Mogo bi kazati drug slot, pač tle, ka kaže enke številke. Drug slot, če bi pisali 2, bi imel 2 launchpada. Mislim, da nekaj tako, pač nekaj zbagam, to je že tako full dolg tako. Lep rotation.
Opportunity here for eliminations.
Lep rotation.
Storming right, making his way through, out of hard mats here. So it's going to be an opportunity for Toos to find elimination and get some hard mats so they keep surviving. Ingram coming all the way from the Defiant Dish, sitting on the high ground, looking great
zdaj bo TaySon trio kar padel.
But no, the moment of greatness is so close.
Bili so tretji, ne bojo več tretji zdaj, ni šans.
No doubt the high ground will be contested as Stormy gets an elimination.
So še 3 igre, ne? Prvo igro so zmagali, če še eno zmagajo, se je spet pač v spredi. Odvisno pač kirjači pa te so prvi, ne, pa zdaj le dobro igrajo, tako da zdaj le pa je pobegnal TaySonu. Prej je bilo samo 2 piki, ali koliko zdaj pa... Oh my god.
Still moving around and finds a chug splash cannon. That's huge and finds the Sypnos as well. 1 HP.
Skoro umrl.
Box dive, golly, that's huge for these
En je umrl.
But Toos pays the ultimate price with his life.
Dejansko je, van mitujo jih je skoro.
Breaking through builds with their barrels. That is what's happening right there on the low ground. T getting knocked. Stormy, the solo all by himself. Nikov, one last
Stormy je umrl. Četrti so bili. Še bojo prvi, še bojo prvi.
Good elimination right there from Seti. So now you have Red Royce mapping exteriors. One last Podosai, Nikov. You got 2 trios and 1 solo and Seti here with the chug cannon doing all it can to maybe sneak and get second place here. If Seti could just sneak around. Wait, Seti's going for it. If he can get it,
Master can cut height.
He does have
What?
height. He does have a number of
Master show YOLO height.
Asterios with a great response.
Zgrifu jih je čist.
High ground and low ground.
Dejansko jih je
It was
zgrifu.
a big distraction. We saw Mappy fall all the way down because of the brief moments we saw Seti distract high ground completely. All 3 members looked to take him out fast, but it cost Mappy his life, and now it'll be a 2v3 towards the very end, dropping down into the water. We'll see Exterio stay up as Red Rush goes down first. Lots of elims on the squad in Red Rush. He slightly builds back up. Nikov, it's their position right now, Sancho. They need to put on the pressure.
I'm trying to see right here how many builds.
Dejansko jih je on model zgrifil čist, ki jih je šel na height contesta. Do konca jih je zgrifil.
Double cones and things of that sort to try to stop them from taking up a hit. Asterios down a couple builds here, but look at that. He does have that chog cannon right now. It is Red Rush, Asterios, and it's it's Podosai. Podosai is the only last one left here.
Oh, 1v1, yeah.
What does Podosai have? He's retreats with a chug cannon. Oh my goodness, Podosai! With a quick 180.
Tale je bila pa bliz. Sem mislil, da že klačala na koncu. Evo, zdaj da vas spustim iz zapora, sekundica. Vsi GG so chat. Vsi GG so chat. Ajde, da vidimo. Ja, Story, te so spet še zmer prvi. Okej, sem mislil, da ne bojo več top 3. A očitno so tudi ostali zasrali, tako da so drugi. Še vedno pač eno dobro igro stran pa pač pridajo, ne? Tako da 3 igre so še, 3 igre še. 3 igre. Dejansko jih je grifnul, ja. Grifnul jih je čist. Okej, da vam pokažem, kaj so tweetali, okej? Kaj je Fortnite tweetal. Alejte, danes, lej, se pravi, okej, čakajte. Tole so včeraj tweetali. A well-fed agent is a happy agent. In jaz mislim, da je to za novo lokacijo. Tako ful hudo zgleda. Folk misli, da je to v Sharku, no. Eni mislijo, da je v Grototu. Sam po moje je res Shark. Zgleda ful hudo. Pol pa... Vidim, da so danes tweetali še neki. Danes so pa tole tweetali. To je Shark Island, po moje. Bo Shark Island updated. Full nice vzgleda. Če se Shark spremeni, Shark zna biti full dober zdaj. Pač ja, Shark je tle v zadnji. Pač to, ali pa da celo v Groto tu na lokacija pride. Če bi Groto prišel nazaj, bi bilo god drugače. Zdaj ga vam svrnili. Tole je full nice. Full nice. To bo po mojem v tork prišlo. Tako, to je to, kar so tweetali. Tako da, nice. Nice. Berlinjo, Fortnite je tole tweetu in folk misli, da bo v tork to prišlo. Čakaj, da ti še nekaj pokažem. Pa šte 2 sliki so tweetali. Včeraj so tole tweetali. Pa folk misli, da bo to v Sharku. Da bo to Shark. Tole. Pa tole. So danes tweetali. Jutr bojo verjetno še eno sliko tweetali. Sam jaz ful upam, da bi naredili kakšno novo lokacijo, da jih je malo več.
Yeah, 100%. And guys, earlier on in the week, we made a video kind of breaking down some of the stats
Is it Kiki?
used on the FNCS.
Abby, this is like kind of like sarcastic or like don't get beat up, kind of like.
Flow of contention is really gonna make or break some of these trios.
Like he was saying as if he would beat him up.
Yeah,
Like, or like, don't continue so I don't beat you up or something like, it's, yeah, I don't know.
And it's sort of the pain as a professional. You can see here Trixie lands, and the first thing is he forgets.
Tako da ja, zna biti zelo... Upam da bo nice location. Zgleda ful dober. Zgleda mi ful všeč, grafika vse. Čaj, grem jaz sam zdaj na vrc. To da BRB, okej? Marinko, kvaj za bus? Kaj ti ne bijaš, Marinko? Ma ti si neumen, Marinko. Ni to za bus. Pa ne bijaš, Marinko.
In a situation where he's 1v3, not much he can actually do there. He eventually just goes down, right? Like, this is so painful as a professional because off spawn you're trying to mitigate as much of the RNG of spawn as possible. But when you end up in those situations where you're fighting Kai, it's all awkward, there's just not much you can do there. And so they go from having a phenomenal second place game to just going down off spawn. Unfortunate for them, you can see in the standings they're sitting there in 6th place. Nevertheless, though, you can always come back. You can always come back. And sitting in 1st place is actually storming right in 2s. A phenomenal day for them so far. Definitely a better day than last week's, or 2 weeks ago now, I should say.
Absolutely. No, they've started to move up, like we already mentioned. But Vino, TaySon, Reason also go up a little bit. They kind of clutched a few points from that after the historic reboot play with the launchpad afterwards that game. That was a really, really good clutch to keep them moving up, just to get a few more points out. But look, Cami Teak also starting to appear. Look how close this is currently where that 3rd threshold is. Remember, top 3 will qualify through to finals. So this is what all these players are playing for. And look at it. 88, 83, 82, 81st separate 2nd down to 5th. Currently halfway into the tournament. This is super, super close.
I do want to point out Flick and Thomas that, you know, they've sort of had a bit of a pedestrian day, and I think as much as, you know, I might seem a bit disappointed, it's because I am. These guys are an elite trio, a team who you expect to come out and have a groundbreaking performance. We all remember their historical Heats performance, you know, 2 seasons ago. Hopefully they can sort of pick up the pace, because I don't really want to see them in Qualify 3, right? You know, I'm excited for Qualify 3, but I don't want to see them there. I want to see them straight in the finals, and so hopefully they can pick things up in these last couple games. But yeah, you know, they've been rather quiet today.
I smell a 20 bomb. That's it.
I mean, look, when Reese calls these things, he's already called the trio in 1st place at least halfway through the competition. He's calling a 20 bomb elimination. You know what? We'll see. We'll see. But you guys know what time it is. The battle bus is raring to go. So we're jumping in for more action here from the FNCS. So Shy Wager Stunchwest, back over to you, friends.
Is it Reese's nose we trust before the close of games today, Sancho? That is a question we have to answer in this next game coming up. At the same time, can Kuriachi hold on to the lead? Because now they're kind of building a, you know, stable point gap between 1st and 2nd place.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. We saw in the previous season, all the qualifiers, it does come down to game 6. So don't go anywhere. We still have a lot more games left here for the FNCS qualifiers. But Shia, I don't know.
Marinko.
That guy knows a lot.
He knows a lot, but his nose knows what his nose knows is the real.
Marinko, ni šans, da je to za bus. Povezan je z uno lokacijo, ki so tweetali en dan prej. To ne... Pa šlo, da bo tudi bus tak, ampak to je nova lokacija, 100%. Oziroma, Shark bo updatean, folk misle. Pa enač, damo member only chat.
I guess they didn't get the memo. Trixie did not get the memo about the windows because he gets knocked again by Zico.
Oh, no. So, you know, that breeze is going to be coming in through the windows, so are the bullets. At the same time, Dirty
Efekt, to moraš pač biti v kakšnih Discordih, a vas sam probavati.
A flyby shot from Teak there onto Flick.
And what we're seeing as well is Red Rush's trio figuring out Backfly's
trio down there.
Earlier, there was a little bit of a scruffle, but now you get to see TaySon's POV on how he's able to get some beams here. Gets a 1 tag there. But you're kind of seeing things, I mean, Seti... Wait, you
Flick! Thomas je nokan.
He actually lands at the blue antenna, and he kind of peeks into Dirty Dots. I'm thinking that may have happened. I'm looking at my mind's eye. And maybe that's what's happening here. I mean, Seti was able to get some valuable tags.
Rabimo več lokacij, definitivno je premalo lokacij na mapi.
On the desk, could definitely pull some replays there and see what happened of Seti getting some
če dodajo...
Hey, on Levin's trio that he's been saying that, you know, so far
če dodajo...
Yeah, I think that might even just be a full finish on that trio because we saw Flick knock already.
Kaj si jo videla kar lepa. Sploh pa, ki je Slurpee tako pol manjši zdaj.
The Teak Seti combination can be supporting the whole way through. will leave the entire major POI of Dirty Dogs on the east side open. Meanwhile, Malibu up against Robabs. That must be happening at Steamy Stacks once again. I mean, both these teams.
Seems like
Sancho, majority of the server might have run out of patience now in game number 4.
Patience is going to be a key factor. Malibuka getting a knock and elimination on Nate. But hey, I think
it's just Stacey left, right?
I believe so. I mean, Malibuka is still in about the middle of the leaderboard right here. Top 3 gets in. Malibuka in 14th place coming into that. I gotta know what happened, man. I'm so curious because it's so rare for a team from a Cammy split pushing into Dirty Docks. Like I said, unless SETI got a knock on the blue antenna. But now we will continue to ponder that as we still on board here with Safix Trio here at Hydro.
Ne bo parkurato, ker je tam dirty parite, pa vse tam čakaj, pa vse dead. Ja, ne, ja, ni vse dead, veliko pač. Fora je, da če naredijo parkurato, to bo vsaj ena lokacija več, ne? Potem, ker Shark je že tako lokacija, če tako gledaš. Sam več folk misli, da je Shark, no, kar jaz tudi mislim, da bi bil. Po moje, no.
And then right after that, off the knock, SETI just makes the call. Let's just push this and see what we can get. They might have got a pump out of a chest. They might have landed so fast that not only got the blue antenna knock.
Apple, gremo. Kako še nismo na 800 lajkov? What do you mean? 13 lajkov do 800 manjka, ajde. Niste vsi stisnili lajke 100%.
Maybe by flick and then Teak gets the final elim, but that's definitely off the blue antenna. I don't think they're going to direct contest. But as a result of everything, right, Sancho, right? As a result of getting those knocks, they now get to actually land in Dirty completely uncontested. They get a bump on their loot.
Wait, I'm sorry to go. What if like it just happened where they just pushed into Dirty? Like all the blue antenna. Nah, they just went and landed.
If they landed Dirty, these guys are crazy. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
It would be out of the norm. I 100% agree. But hey, I mentioned SETI, Cammy, and Teak being much more aggressive. I mean, it could be in their game plan. Maybe they saw a chink in the armor of Thomas.
Što je neumno, da me Denotes spreminjajo lokacije. Zakaj, Ana? What? Zakaj je neumno, da spreminjajo lokacije? Pa tudi ni nujno, da so spremenili. Pa zakaj je neumno? Pač ti se moraš kdaj prilogiti, ti če zgubljaš kaj, moraš koga iti kontesta, da dobiš tam kile, da lahko pač mogoče nazaj prideš, ne? Ker tukaj se im itak gre, da so top 3. Če nisi top 3, itak brez je. Koliko tiska pride v finale, bo šel v hite 100%. Tako da igraš tle, da prideš top 3, ne? To ni neumno, what?
It should be a guarantee, right? But people make different decisions while they play. Sometimes TaySon just goes and decides to loop Qual-al completely.
Ko lahko ful presenečaš nasprotnika, če se na to prijavaš.
And then moving out of the way there, and sometimes Baffle decides to just keep contesting people.
A ja, ti misliš tako, če se drop spreminja, a ja. Jaz sem mislil, Ana, da ti misliš tako, da sred turnirja, da en tim nekam drugam lenda. Dar, to je, ampak jaz rajš to vidim, kakor pa da se nič ne spreminja, pa da je skozi eno in isto.
TaySon, I don't think it's super disappointing at the end of the day because I think for everyone, they're just looking at the grand finals placements and exactly how those work completely. I feel like in the quals, even if they don't make it this week, a 4th and another 4th, and then in qual 3, even if it's another 4th, they'll just keep popping off.
It would be social media food. That's what it will be. It'll give someone.
Yeah, we love the drama.
Give it some talking points to go into, but passive right now going against Peach's trio using the talking points of the way of the gun here. That's the language that everyone seems to understand here on the Fortnite Island. We've been seeing it all day. People shooting warning shots with hand cannons. But this is a good old-fashioned box fights here. And now we talked about it. There's no one on front. So you see passive right now looking for angles. So you got Shady and Baffo and AR, excuse me, all looking for angles here, but it gets greeted. Right when he gets close enough by Woodsy. And hey, remember last qualifier, Passive and Baffo and Shady, they were essentially, you know, picked on by
Let's go. Last time lahko končno spet Jurija. Let's go, chat.
And now that Passive's free, they're making their push into Pleasant Park, but Peach's trio and gonna colliding with Shady. Peach makes quick work of Shady in that 50-50. Passive now makes quick work of Woodsy. They're trading elims to and fro.
Woodsy, Peach, and Waffler right now. These guys are in 33rd place. They're really feeling damage of this off spawn. What looks like conditioning, basically. Baffo just wants to control Pleasant Park at all costs, and he's been winning.
92 ga je pumpnuo.
Peach will try to build
I
to the
side
moon.
jumpom, insane.
Air Baffle will try to get all the way up there. I think we'll see passive maybe knock things out, or Air Baffle just do something crazy and then a big shot.
And this is what I'm thinking, like, you know, this is going to be a great opportunity for, you know, a Believer Beach trio or Boney Burb trio to make their way through. And right now, I'm not seeing that right now from anybody. So they're just letting whatever happened here at Pleasant Park kind of
occur.
toto,
po moje se sploh ne več fajtom,
AR's trio is coming into, you know...
Passive gre rebootat verjetno.
Right now, their leaderboard placements are not that great. They're in 27 place coming into
nič ne bo z rebootom. 0 mecov ima še. Ga, to je bila Urnik napaka.
Trying to reboot Shady into this fight to get the man advantage. Nice tags on Peach here.
Oof.
Storm's gonna wash over this engagement.
Mi se seče že v finalu, Marija.
That will last a while.
A je že direkt v velikem finalu, zato nič ne igra.
As Waffler takes some big hits against AR. Ew, a knock right there. Oh, can he get the second? Yes!
Majster je oba dobu. In to zadnji cajt. 7 HP-ja imel nek tasga. Pa 3 metki te imajo. Dejansko so dobili.
Looks like we got the quick version of it. The TR, what was it? Too long to read?
TLDR.
Yeah, there it is. That's what we just got.
That fight just had, like, you know, very, very nuanced beginning.
TaySon trio.
Too long of a middle, but then a very, very quick finish.
A so čist levo oni.
So I like what I see there. They'll be able to move out and get Shady back in the game as well. But once again, the cost of conditioning, obviously, they'll just be kind of middling overall today. I don't expect anything higher than maybe 20th place for Arbafo. But they will come out with
headshot snipe.
Control of Pleasant Park. And as that zone closes in as well, it's going to be towards the east side. Lazy Lake Trio, who used to be in second place, that's the one that I believe Link is going to be the one landing over there. They kind of fell way down to 15th now. So Link, Fury, Irazumi, they have the
chance to control the poisti, nice. Bravo, Sicon, zašto mogu sve znamenati. Monkra poisti najslaša. Imagine da bi se mogu, da bi mogu svako večer spati u Monkra poisti. Po moje neki najslabšega. A bo to snipe? Lep hit.
Nice sniper shot with 104 against Splash. But the Siptos, I believe they changed their drop and went back home to Misty Meadows. Because look at that, they're here, and you're seeing on the map there is another trio down there, but this is a team that's in 7th place right now. They have to make their way up the board, and they're about 10-12 points away from crushing into that top 3 threshold, which is being held down by Red Rush, Asterios, and Mappy.
It's very close on the board right now. People are just kind of 1 to 2 points away from each other. The Siptos, one trio wipe away from being inside basically the top 3 almost. So we'll see if it's possible for him.
Lubenica, Omnom.
Omnom. Who's bit right now. But at the same time, I mean, Andalex
Ta Lubenica je full dobra. Oh, God.
These guys are going to be right beside and right above. There's
Une Lubenice, ki so direkt prav zrele, so najbolj dobre. Oh, God.
You're seeing Andalex here. Leo getting a knock on Vino, so the slide kind of continues. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on the feed. That gets Shio up on his feet. Quite surprised to see Vino going knock to TaySon and Reason.
Lana, ti ni v live nisi Lubenice jedla.
As Kirachi has about a double-digit lead on first place.
Pač, tole je dejansko full sočna. Oh, tole je najboljša Lubenica, ki sem jo letos jedel.
No one's affecting Kiriachi off spawn, but at the same time, how is Vino falling game after game, slightly separated from everyone else? I understand last one, Sancho, right? These guys were shambles on the bottom side of the map.
Ne maraš sadja.
At the same time, you know,
zato da nekdo ne mara zelenjave, kot jaz.
Used to be Red Rush versus Kiriachi off spawn a lot.
Pa rabi, ti si alergična na Lubenico, tako da
it kind of seems like Kiriachi on low down at the end of the game versus Red Rush on a height, at least from the previous game that we saw. Kiriachi kind of falling short, but yeah, the consistency available for the elims and the placements he has so far to maintain that lead. These guys don't really need Victory Royale that much anymore. Outside of Mappy, Exterios, and Red Rush, they need to do something to catch up. They're about still 15 points behind Kiriachi for the moment. Some placements been handed out across the board as well. But if both trios stay alive, it'll be the elims that make the difference. And right now, these guys have 3, so they've made up a little bit of time.
This trio previous season kind of surprised me. You know, they finished first in their heat and they came in 13th place as well. And hey, you can't forget Red Rush is an FNCS squads champion. And you talking about all those things. It was coming down from the Slurpy Swamp, and that was with Droban, Zappy, and Wakey. So he has that experience. Can they get that experience?
Nismo načeli TaySona, spet ne umejo nič tega, dobro, 40 tega je dobil na začetku, ampak to ni nič.
There at the lake. But a big surprise was Podesize Trio walking away with the Victory Royale. And if they're going to want to do it again, they're going to have to do it as a duo. But hey, one less than Podesize can do that considering they are the veteran duo of the trio.
Yeah, I was about to even talk about this as quick stat comes on screen. These guys are basically at the bottom of the board before that win. So they got to have a chance to maybe be top 10. If they get crazy and get 2 more wins, maybe top 3. But you're talking about playing as a duo. Neakoff is the one that's down, and it's got to be one loss in Podesize. I mean, yes, they have that duo chemistry, but at the same time,
Ta lubenica je pa dejansko najboljša lubenica, ki sem imel. Letos to pa res god.
Of, you know, doing big things. Big sniper shot. It's going to have to be multiple headshots for Sancho.
Pač te lubenice, ki so mehne, so 100krat boljše kune, ki kupaš pa so full velike. 100krat boljše so. Ne polne na steroidih.
Kind of movement we saw from the bottom of the board to the middle of the pack was Sky's trio as well. So the French know how to make their way up their leaderboard. But look, it's a battle. Vino is back on his feet. TaySon and Reason Round are trying to hold on at the dish. This is going to be a fight that they cannot afford to go down here. And they do get a knock, and they're going to go ahead and pull back here and make sure they get maximum Storm Surge tags. Bang! There it is. They're going to be able to clean that up. And that's what you want to do when you get a knock. Pull it back, put them on your shoulders, get that maximum sword, be able to loot up properly, and then go back into the fight. And TaySon and Reason are able to get another knock on Miles here. This will be quite a matter of moments.
Mislim, ja, divizij, moraš gledati, če so Soldier sam. Zelo svetle, samo vse. Zdi se mi, da je ta mala, ta pač saj res god. Da večja šansa še je ta mala, da je dobra. Dva kila ima. Maja Bendigan, kar je god. Zdaj sem dojel, da je TaySon povedal to.
There they go, move on, they're going to ignore that fight behind them and get into zone with that permanent pet.
Have the switch up moment though where they stop doing that box to box thing and then look for the best place to try to take height. We saw it a lot. The issue is the best of the best followed them afterwards as well, right? They do this rotation in week 1 and then Akko would be like
to je bila god lubenica, what? Moja ne sam boljša leta, najboljša leta, najboljša v lifeu. To je bilo res dobro.
Where's Aqua now? He's waiting in the finals. There's no one to stop these guys here other than
Kaj, nikoli še razumel, kako folk pije vodo. To, jaz sem bil tudi to včasih, drugač, ful nisem mogel vode piti. Pa, ko sem ful bolj resno basket igral, ko sem jo začel piti, pač vodo, ko se enkrat navadiš piti, ti je dobra. Pač. Ko res. Ok, kaj reš, recimo, ko si v paše kakega zinega, vsaj meni, ampak. Ko se navadiš vode, jaz sem tudi sovražil vodo.
Let's see if they can do it.
Voda, a veš kaj je najboljši občutek? Kad se zbudiš, kad imaš čist suh grl, pa imaš zraven mrzel kozarc vode, pa to spiješ. To je nekaj najboljšega. Pinči, tako pa, veš kaj je Pinči, če ne piješ nič vode, da recimo skozi piješ vse, kar ima vkus, ti je voda res gadna. Če se pač malo siliš, da piješ čisto vodo, da piješ skozi sam vodo cel mesec, se šponoval, pa ti bo dejansko god.
But they are a very, you know, they have a very dominant lead.
Pinči, ti se nikoli ne zbudiš suhim grlom, ne, dej ne seri, Pinči.
You know, TaySon kind of going low ground box to box. This is one of the best teams of just making a bigger base, being able to bully people and get a lot of information, and then move out after the fact. The base will be on fire. That's just because they have so many points at their feet are now setting
things in place. They
can't hold on to, you know, all that glory. So it's all good.
No, Pinči, mislim, redko kdaj, zdaj že dolgo nisem imel suha usta. Ampak se zgodi, no. Nimam velikrat, ampak ja.
Here actually might be able to control a lot in low ground, but if Steady Cam and Teak are there as well, they can steal a lot of points and then maybe even win out the game completely at the end of the day.
they're usually in the lane over. If they're all driving on the low ground, it's like a highway. They're like 2 lanes over on the other side, doing the same kind of work as the Stereos gets an elimination on bad sniper, and now they're going to go ahead and make their way through, considering that most of the trios who are caught on the outside have made their way through. You're seeing, actually, there's still 1, 2, 3, about 10 trios still have to make this this big
Turkish je spet ratu member. Let's go. Pozdravljam, biste dajte membri. Hvala, ljubi za Turkish v chatu, prosim. Sej ni važno, tako je, Leomar.
Red Rush will also be able to just control height completely for the next few zones, especially if they get a favorable 5th and 6th.
Ne, to ni da nikoli ni svat vina. Nemogoče. Maja pede, 2 peda ima TaySon. Nice. Saj zdi se mi, da to pomeni 2-2, no. Kje si Turkish? Jev.
They had 2 llamas, somehow still ran out of mats. And somehow had bad position even though zone was at Coral.
Kaj imajo spet 2 lami?
Ajde,
to so v prejšnji igri govorili. Sam rabijo search tega nujno. Še. Samo imajo 2 kila, ampak to ni dost.
But it's now slipped down to 15th. Now you're seeing on 5th place right here is Safik. They're trying to hold on alongside with Gaben, I believe. This is, I mean, I have to go up based on what my knowledge here. So it's Safik and Gaben here as a duo, and they're 28 below the surge. They have a lot of options around them, considering that most of the circle is here. But let's see how they're going to handle this about 20 seconds that half in and half out. 5th zone will reveal itself. And Shayo, we saw this last in qualifiers, game 6. It was in this area and went back up towards the mountains. If it goes down south, it's going to be another wet and wild finish.
Prvo, ko obračam bilijarde, še zdaj nismo sposobni osnovnega replaya narediti. Mislim, Pinči, lahko rečeš krčaš, ampak replay v primerjavi s prejšnjim sezonom so full fixali. Zadnji 2 sezoni dejansko je replay full boljši. Full boljši. A sploh, ki je včasih skozi štekal. Ki je vmes frizal pa to. Pa še vedno je zbagan, ampak veliko boljši. Ampak ja, dejansko ne vem, kako jim ne rata, ne vem. A dejansko to tako težko na serverih, ker je toliko playerjev, pa toliko malo prostora, pa buildi pa vse, ne vem. Pač jaz mislim, da je pač dejansko nemogoče. Pač probavajo, ne vem. Gledaš Creed 2. To sem kjer je to. Pa je to. Berga, kvaj na tag.
Away as we're on board. We are first place, Kirachi, Toos, and Stormy Right.
Če lahko folk v svoj pošiljam, mislim, da bi se dal tudi boljši replay narediti. Za nekaj se zdi, da sam mora biti problem s serveri, Pinči. Serveri so problem. 100%. Sorry pa te rabijo zdaj umret, da pride TaySon na prvo mesto. 50 so above surge. A, sam en rabo umret, tako da ga verjetno čilajo za tale surge. Še vedno so 50 above model.
I'm seeing on high in the bottom right, iRes, that trio is unable to get any tags because literally there's so many catacombs. All these boxes right below them. This whole server is in the safe zone essentially, and there's no one
Kako približno pride, da ti optiko napeljejo do bajte? Kako ne jaz to vem? Pojma nimam. Pojma nimam. Žijo David.
The hydro dam, no, it pulls up towards very mountainous landscapes. This is going to be tragic for a lot of these low ground
trios.
Spend their pads, have to be careful with every single wall, and use triple the mats they usually do to navigate this terrain.
That's the trio of Teak.
Tale zone bo full težek, res. Ta bo težek zone za movement.
Let's take a look here. iRes currently leads all players with 17 solo impact points. What does that mean? Essentially, this man is getting those eliminations. He's getting those placement points for his trio. So iRes is doing a phenomenal job staying on his feet and racking up those points for his trio.
He's on stilts now too because these guys got high ground.
Te imajo easy fight zdaj,
Extend it the whole
res imajo
way
easy
through.
rotation, ne.
Multiple bases are extending. No one wants to go all the way to
A je
low.
Rizon tam le leto, a ne zdaj le pod njih. Maybe bojo TaySon spet probali high dobiti.
More exciting as we ramp up again and low ground gets into trouble. Lots of people flying in the air. Said he's going to be the first target for Irazumi, but he's going to get by unscathed. While that happens, many people down below will look to maybe even pressure the people at the front of the tarp, Fury and Link, but they stay secure.
Stormy right here, making his way on the right side. They're going for high. They're getting closer. Looks like they find an opportunity here. Satisfied with this layer, they're going to wait right here. They may be going, but Kirachi is low and Toos is not. So now it's up to Stormy right again to get as many solo points as power. We're talking about those power placement opportunities. Stormy right.
Znači smo videli od TaySona levo še gore.
And then a very scary layer
considering ne dobijo killov, ne fajte se nič, mislim.
A little simulator of just looking at farmland, green grass as these guys move around to a horror game as they have to drop all the way into every single box beside them. They don't know where Edison come from. They're going down once again. There's nowhere to move. Kiriachi's popped a little bit of a flopper, so he's able to have a little bit of HP. No, it's actually a siphon finish that comes through for him. They'll keep moving. Knocked again by Malabuka, and Stormy Right and Kiriachi are now once again just invading.
Okay, TaySon je še živ. TaySon sem videl. Fortaj, Vibes smo zadnji med bizarni, da me bi hvala ljubi za Vibesa, kako si jih hvaliti za support. Kaj je TaySon? Evo ga TaySon, je TaySon solo zdaj? Ja, TaySon je sam še živ. A je Rizon še živ? Je solo, ne? Kaj tam na spodnji, nekaj čujem kaže. Ajde TaySon, klačaš to TaySon, ajde! Let's go! To ima TaySon, ajde. Če lahko kdo to klače, je to TaySon. Nima več veliko mecov, ampak... Nice! TaySon insane! Shen kill, let's go! Ajde TaySon, top 8 je. Da TaySon pride top 5 je tole god.
His build count looks flimsy, but his shots
are stronger and more
structured than ever. Him by himself,
2 killa že dubu.
Winning this game if enough other trios get affected and splintered the whole way through. Inside of wood box, no build stuff.
TaySon je god! TaySon je god!
Inside the storm. This is his home. It's where he lives.
Ne, pač TaySon je insane. TaySon je insane.
And he gets more builds. 2 left now. You take away that build meter, he gets active with those bullets. 100 on the super.
Skor je še te ubal, what? Skor je še te ubal. TaySon je insane, what?
Getting some huge eliminations. Malabuka gets an elimination.
Sam TaySon, pač to je insane model. Master dobil kaj, 5 killov? Žal ta zadnji kill ne ušteva, ne, ker pač je on prej umrl, kaj ga je noku. To je bilo... Tole je full klač za svoj tim zdaj, da bojo top 3. Tole je bilo zelo pomemben klač.
And Murstache and Shusi. No, I don't think anyone knows Shusi's up there.
He's gonna try to survive on height. Malabuka has that rock armor shell of builds all the way around him. He dropped Murstache down slightly to do his own thing. Shusi, 1% and almost 1 HP.
1v2,
and he wins it out.
Kjer je bil TaySon na koncu?
Insane shot, but now it's up against Steady and Cammy all the way down on low. Steady goes back in the storm. What's it gonna be here?
Steady se bo ubil, zato da on ne dobi hila.
And play it out, and he doesn't get siphoned. Shuzi up top, trying to do his own thing. Does he have enough HP to do it though? Is he slightly higher? Yes, Cammy.
Yep, zmagal so. Cammy je odtrio zmagal. Dajte vsi GG so chat, preden pogledamo. Dajte vsi GG so chat, preden pogledamo lestvico. TaySon je zdaj zelo insane clutch naredil. Tole je bil zelo pomemben clutch, zelo pomemben.
For the EU region, highlight plays from TaySon, some big plays from everybody, and hey, a classic for the Cammy trio. Hey, yeah, you
vsi GG so chat. Vsi GG so chat. Ajde, da vidimo. Evo. TaySon trio zdaj tretji. Jaz vidim, da če TaySon ne bi klačil, bili so na konc 7. Če TaySon ne bi klačil, kaj Dubu je 4 kile je dobil, plus placement, bi bili oni zdaj ne bi bili top 3. Tako da ta klač je bil insane. Ta klač je bil insane. Ta klač je bil insane. To je bil res insane.
He just keeps giving us reasons. Let's be real. He keeps giving us reasons to talk about him.
Tole je bilo res insane.
So much about that specific game is just
A bi bili top 3? Možno da bi bili, ne, sam ne verjamem. 4 kili, to je 8 točk. 4 kili so 8 točk. Lej, če bo 8 točk manj je 111, plus placement je pol dobo. Tako da ne bi bili. Ne bi bili tretji. Peti bi bili, ko so imeli 102 točki. Ne, pa bi bili četrti, ali? Ne, četrti bi pa bili, ko bi šli te gora, ne? Te bi bili tretji, oni bi bili četrti pol. Ampak ja, tale klač je bil ful pomemben. Pač, dubo jim je 17 točk. To je god. To je bil insane klač. Še 2 igri, čet, še 2 igri. Top 3 morajo biti, da grejo direkt v veliki finale. Top 3 morajo biti. Še 2 igri, še 2 igri. Zdaj bo četrta. Ne, zdaj bo peta, zdaj bo peta. Ta play je bil god. Pa še skoraj je klačil, tam je še enega noko. Če ne bi pump falil, bi tam lahko klačil še tisto model. Ja, Perko, dam denarne nagrade dam pa za zmagovalce. Denarne nagrade. Živo Sven Fischerju, jo, pozdravim.
How did they get to this position where they can finally take a victory royale for themselves?
Čak, kjeri so kemi pa te zdaj? Oni so zdaj prvi. Drugi 13, tretji prvi. To so god placementi. Ampak to ni velika razlika. Vašen je, da oni ostanejo top 3. Nima veze, da so prvi ali ne. Sam da so top 3. Lej, dejansko jih niso šli kontestati, ampak so jih sam tle nadelač. Uf. Živo Žan, jo. Koliko dobi zmagovalc? Dosta dobi nad zmagovalc. To se igra sam za veliki finale, kjer je pol denarja. Mister Raš, kaj ti legenda za €30? Ti zdaj na mana forta, ampak ti si legenda. Mister Raš, plati za €30. Plati, samo se jo da, če kaj spremljaš tudi, če ti ni do forta. Sej, kaj se šola začne, ko bojo spet pač 3-urni streami, zdaj sem že začel sam 3-urni stream zdaj. Ko bojo 3-urni streami plus videi, takrat bom probal čim več raznolikega kontenta na YouTube delati. Medtem, ko trobo tisto, kar mi paše, tako da ja. Živo Jan, zakaj jo? Kaj rekel sem vas za igrah? Ej, bom še vse malo pregledati, okej, kako bom zdaj zrihtal. Sada za igra, v redu? Moramo vse pogledati. Setup video, chat, naslednji teden pride Zupi snemat sem. A zdaj ne vem, jaz sem takrat full snemal s telefonom, spremembe, kaj se dogaja in tako naprej, ampak ne vem, a bom tisto vključene. Po moje je dober, če jaz naredim začetek videa, kot je neka montažica, pa grem čez cel setup in pol na koncu za tistega hoče, da vidite pač kako se je spotoma vse delali in tako naprej. Ja, Pinči, zame dejansko, ko se njim začne šola, imam jaz več časa, ko gre pa med počitnicam. Da bo jutar stream na Trovotu, kva je jutar, pondelk? Ja, verjetno na 11 zjutraj. Sam ne vem, kaj bom streamal jutar. Že Jan Boltar, jo. Razmišljam, da bi jutar kakšen Warzone igral chat, dopoldne. Tam ga moram downloadat. Perko, denarne nagrade bojo. Od kompa specifikacije v videu. Se to lahko da že zdaj Kregar so glicaj PC, ampak ja, bom povedal, kaj je noter, Voda. Daj pridejo Marvel skini, no, ne morejo tako tizati s Star Lordom. Ja, ne vem, Vojksi, ne vem. Lega Pinči. Ajde pa igram do 900 lajkov, ajde. Sam še 19 lajkov, pa ne pozabiti uporabiti kode skoro zajedem šopu, s tem res pomagate, tako da hvala vam legende, hvala.
Therefore, we're going into game number 5 of the FNCS. So, Shire Wager, Sancho West, over back to your beautiful faces.
A ja, chat, veste kaj nisem preperal to video? Kaj igra kaj? A kakšen facecam overlay ima on? A ste kaj videli? Abi, I have 3080. Roki, ne tega pisati, please. Pač, hvala, da tako misliš, ampak sen.
an insane game, and they're going
Žijo Gapix, jo, pozdravljen.
Head to head, we've seen them clash multiple times. We see them in each other's POVs.
Ne, Iveco, nismo.
There's like a highway and they're both lanes.
Ma vem, pinče, vem, sam nepotreben hejt je, pa če jaz to pustim po spet, až se začne kao drama. Sam brez veze je. A inač, member only chat, igrej Valivan s TaySonom sem že igral. Prejšnjo sezono, skoro sem en stream kliknul. To bi bila slaba. To bi bila slaba. Pinči bi zdaj rekel, ne, to bilo dobro.
There has to be some adjustments if you have a perfect dirty drop and, you know, you're getting taken out by City Teak. There has to be a little bit of worrisomeness coming through from the Dirty Dog squad. At the same
Žijo, Jela, kako si? Kaj lahko narediš, če si pri Telekom imaš direkt Wi-Fi, ko imaš boljši router ali drug paket? Ja, Wi-Fi ima router veze, ne, mislim, pač Wi-Fi nikoli ne bo boljš kot preko kabla. A ne? Ampak router, če nimaš routerja, ki ima povezavo, aj ti z gigaherca, da nima 5, da imaš 2.4 namesto 5, že to se folk pozna. Moraš imeti router, ki ima možnost imeti povezave s 5 hitrostjo. Nema aj ti z gigaherca, ko so pozval sem. Yo, Filip, yo, Seba. Pa se spomnim groto minigun. Jaz tudi super, Jelo. Ta, 5G, ja, ne 5 GHz, 5G, to ja. Če imaš 5G, router je, pač, če nimaš 5G routerja, pa si to kup, boš zihar boljš. Wi-Fi ima full veze, pač če imaš dober internet, a ne ima Wi-Fi sam veze, pač router pol. A je to 5 GHz? A ja, je pol, pa sem imel prav, aha, pa sem imel prav. Pa sem imel prav, okej. 5G imam v roki, ja, to je res. Jaz imam free Wi-Fi, ker sem se cepil.
9 points away from TaySon's trio, so, and yeah, you're seeing it, the pressure is there. They're no longer kind of winning against Backfire, they're not being too aggressive.
Oni ne smejo dobro odigrati. Ja, na 5G je full hitrejši, oziroma na 5 GHz. 5G je mobile, ja.
It's just not possible unless they drop those 20 eliminations that the boys are talking about. But Red Rush and Asterios and Mappy, they have to be careful because they're right now, they're not playing with house money. Backfire trio is.
Ja, upam, da Red Rush v trio zdaj umre. To je bila krepa. Ne, oni bežijo, zakaj? Zakaj?
Boney Burbs is not one of those places that you could kind of, you know, get engagement and then go back to replenish everything.
Does it look nice?
Once all the resources are gone, once you hit up the slurp trucks, that's it. And that's why they're going to go ahead and retreat over to risky reels. You know, that's one thing with the Aqua trio there and Boney Burbs, we see how someone could just hold it down to themselves and their options. But when there's two people contesting, it's what it comes down to, like who got the towers and who got the loot. And if you don't get any other things, you got to retreat.
Absolutely have to. For Malibuca, though, for Sash and Shizo, these guys never, ever retreat. They've been, invaded by 2 different trios these 4 games and have defended successfully against.
Can you take a screenshot, Abby, please, and show me?
Snazy,
I want to see.
4-0 that we're rolling in. Or I'm getting all the shuffles mixed up.
Amo, TaySon trio, imate to. Chat, Abby mi je na Discord poslala 27 fucking sporočil.
Time after time.
It's Steamy Stacks.
Everyone's
used to being contested here. It's one of those hot spots for the EU region. And I already mentioned it. It's Andretta.
Oh, I
Savage,
see. It's quite minimal.
That's the trio that's
actually nice.
Who auto-qualified from the previous season by finishing 2nd place. That's the team that Malibuca has been trading barbs with the entire season. And Malibuca has been coming up on top against Savage's trio.
And right now they're dropping up top on Akiro, a 3-man operation. Launchpad put down, but now you got 3 AR spraying at you, my man. I'm not sure if this is going to be the wave, but he only gets hit once. Regroups with this trio all the way at the suburbs outside Steamy and Malibuca's like,
okay, Abby. I actually like it. I was actually thinking to going back to what I had.
The beams come through. Malibuca changes his trajectory, flight path. He's going to go back up into the dish area up here.
But I don't know.
As
I'll
you
see.
Reason getting knocked in high, Joe. See? TaySon's trio. They decided finally to push into Boney Burbs. I've been waiting for that push to happen.
Or just change it a bit.
Beach trio coming into Boney Burbs
I'll see.
And getting a knock.
But Snazy also being traded somewhere else across the map, and I don't even know where this is at this point. This is absolutely insane. Okay, we're at logjam. It's built around the entire way, and there's sunset in the place or in the way as well. He actually is playing very consistently, but once again, as mentioned at the start, these guys aren't taking enough risks in the end game. They're playing very safe and secured. That consistency will last.
Well, yeah, I said like I would like something that would look nice and minimalistic.
5 elims a game.
Like a pinchi.
Right now, the adjustments that Kirachi has made, considering the POI has had a reduction in its loot due to the mothership, and they're gonna find their loot out here in Logjam. So that is the adjustment you're seeing that these Fortnite pros are making. And the good thing they had like about a week to work with this, you know, considering that you have the
trikodan camera frame, to še noben nima. Dejansko, ja. Ne, drugače mi je ful všeč bil camera border, ne, sam. Pa da je malo zardeč, okej, sam ne vem, kako bi naredil, da dobro zgleda. Kako to misliš? Vojksi.
They're slowing down at the wrong time. They're being consistent, but now it's not the time to.
A ja, da gre o bledicah, ma ne. Pramal je, samo okor bi izgledal po moje. Vem, kaj misliš drugače.
It's a paradox on both sides that this trio will have to break. It'll be troublesome as Exterios too, going for this cosmic chest. And possibly be interrupted by Liza.
This is the match right here for TaySon to guarantee himself in the top 3. Look at the zone 1 reveal. It's a central zone, and you see their green arrows out there in Believer Beach. They have an easy rotation considering that they did get a couple of knocks on Bony Burbs trio. On the bottom right, it's Asterios, who've already retreated away from Bony Burbs and finding the one of the new cosmic chests.
Ja sam podegral ko kamer modre mi očne. Ne, Vojksi, nočem imeti modre pa vijolčne z kamero. Vse to pinči. Pač, zaradi tega, ker moji overlay so pač črno-rdeči beli, a ne? Posledice imam tako, ker tako največ zgleda, ampak... Pač da bi tako, kar sem imel, ne, da je belo okolo, ampak ne kakšna bi animacija naredila, pa nekaj, da bi dobro zgledala, ne? To ne vem.
I'm just waiting right now for the moments here. We saw TaySon kind of take this aggressive push as well.
Ja sam vedno imel idejo, da bi nekako alerti šli ven iz kamere, a ne da bi bili s kamero povezani, sam to je ful drago za to tako, da rabaš plačati ne 400 evrov, da ti naredijo, ker je pa ful preveč.
Or Pickus is going to go ahead and basically go around the island if he has the time. Now, anytime you take a shot against the Instable, it automatically
Mo dolni chat, vprašaj.
So it's just a matter of moments here.
Aj pa, gremo do igre lajkov, ajde. Gremo do igre lajkov, pa ne bo zapravo, kod je ScorpLZ, ajde šel, hvala vsem, ki jo uporabljate. Če bomo spet prišli nazaj na 2 jurja supporterjev, bom spet gifte delal vsak teden. Zdaj že zelo dolg nismo imeli, mislim 2000 supporterjev. Da se sploh odnač. Hojpiku se zdi, da je to dobro, da če nimaš performance moda, da imaš takle zon, da nič ne vidiš. Kako oni mislijo, da je to dobro? Kar pleše. Okay, to je Marinko.
Splash gets the elim, but can Splash even live the whole way through to get back to score?
Tomasov trio se v fightu.
We'll find out. Right now we have a big gladiator match at Gorgeous Gorge. Link, Irazumi, and Fury versus Flick, Anas, and Thomas. They're suspended 60 feet in the air, but they're not going to be able to fight it out.
Battle between 14th and 15th. And right now, the biggest surprise is D is in that 15th spot. So that's going to be the question is, they're going to need this game and game 6. Shio's already put down his clairvoyant card and said game 6 will be their beast game. Thomas HC not connecting with the sniper shots against Cammy's trio, trying to return that receipt that said he sent them out in the previous round. Some white tags here and some white heels. Nothing there, Shio. Nothing right there.
Pushayo.
Are they going for it? Okay.
I think so. I was about to say this. I think the vendetta is on. I think they're going to go ahead and send a message back to SETI.
I think the thing that actually warrants this the most is that they got white tags on one of these players. So they know they have a little bit of an innate advantage. They have the timing on them, but wow, this is first place they're affecting in game number 5. That's huge. And I don't think they're going to stop here either because they're so far behind. They need something rolling in and popping off for them. This fight just might be it.
Hey, if they get a trio ripe on SETI, it's the cherry on top. Yeah, you got the white tags, but I think they know. They have to know
what they're
going
launchpad
against right now, but we'll see, maybe cooler heads prevail, and they hit the brakes. And looks like they're going to be able to build up and look for other Storm Surge tags on other rotating trios.
This is what we saw TaySon do in game number 1, where those guys just absolutely dominated. It's just pushing a team that you've gotten tags on, and then basing up right beside them, limiting their options and stealing away.
Evo, zdaj na 950 lajkov, ajde, če zdaj vsi si seta like. Easy 950, če ne Jurija. Ta je drugač 5. igra, samo še ena igra po tejle je pol. Samo še ena igra po tejle.
What kind of loot that Seti trio was able to walk away from Dirty Dogs.
Okay, to je flick. Sam mislil, da je od enemy tima.
They had to go back to their cami split, considering that Thomas Stacey's trio was able to survive the pressure. So that's what I'm going to keep an eye on going forward.
See what they can pick up.
Kva priči?
4-7 Tor, they're still there.
Koga čak, ti boš jaz se on je preustrelil s ti.
Future-centric Safik. Safik went down a little
sploh ne vem o čem.
towards the 7th zone in the last game. Almost made it towards the end game, almost made it to
sploh ne vem o čem je to zdaj. Rip.
Just fell short, passive.
Pozabil sem.
So more trios these guys are getting involved with. Shady goes down once again to Serbi. Lots of fights around the map.
A ti si izgubljen. Če je težko, če spremljam tle, še moram veliko razmišljati, Pinči.
That team that was in 14th place. I like to get Thomas Stacey. Hey, just got to move up the board a little bit here in game 5. You're not looking for it all at once here. It's a huge explosion happens right outside Safik's base. Podesai, Nikov, and Qual-al, who's been the biggest movers of the day on the leaderboard. Very close to scratching that top 5 here. But they still have some work to do, considering that they coming all the way from Coral Castle 7 Tor. Enforcer sitting now right above this scrum as well. Kind of things are kind of settling in here, Shai.
Pinči, lahko reči, krčeš, ampak dal sem mi prvo, okej? Mene to važno. Ana, tiho, skor dosta razmišlja, res je. Če si boomer, veliko razmišljaš.
Yeah, I think one of the big things too is just like, you know,
vsaj Marinko razmišlja, no?
Still finding out like what their win conditions are.
Aga, TaySona, da vidimo. A imajo kaj kilo ali ne? Imajo glave. Vsi, kar je insane. Imajo 2 kila, okej. Dobil so še 9 točk, to je nice. Te lahko free kill dobijo na telih. To zdaj čakajo.
Vino sometimes going down, TaySon
zdaj zadnjega boja po moje sprejel, ali pa ne?
Early game fights. I think Reason's been the most consistent player of the day so far. He's been absolutely lethal, leading the charge in most box fights. But at the same time, it's a team effort.
Ne si boja, jaz mislim, da jih boja. Zadnjega boja po laser ali na polno. Na 3-4 zdaj, evo. Uf, evo.
I didn't even think he
knocked
had that blue bar at all. Especially, I barely even saw it move even, and it's just out. But they have time to shield back up.
Duel so tege, kar je pač najbolj pomemben zdaj.
You may have not seen anything, but
you
think you know that some huge tags went through. And you talked about it, yes, they're being satisfied, and they're going to go ahead and move on through. This is the parasite that is now on top of their head, which we saw. You know, Benji, Shadow, and Joe used as their advantage.
Še vedno so rezultati, boljši kot takrat.
Take on a lot of box fights, make these open
boja, obljubam ti. Až naredil face reveal, če Qual-al Pinči.
But now that they've kind of been balanced by the storm a little bit, they're still a very big part of the meta utilized by our Fortnite professionals.
Zdaj bojo holdali kvateli.
They're looking to get towards the left side of the map as well, or actually don't even know what's going on here.
Ne, okej. No vidiš, ne upaš. Ne upaš. Kaj veš, da imamo šanso.
Make a U-turn, and they're going to go ahead and make that U-turn. They make their exit, but hey, this is going to be the.
Zdaj sem dobil tvoj odgovor. Evo.
Will solidify them in the top 3. They just got to make sure that Vino stays on his feet. That's not saying that Vino is just.
Berlinija, what? Ne seriji Berlinija. Tvoj mentality je drag.
But sometimes you're that last guy that gets into that rotation and you just get hit by a shotgun blast. It happens. Vino is still a huge part, a crucial part of their success today.
Ja, dober Vojksi, zmago ne bom, kaj Savo, to vem, da ne bom. Če bi jaz hotel zmagati FNCS, bi 12 ur na dan skozi treniral. Pa ne sam 3 skrime. Pridi v finale. Kaj, polfinale, Pinči? Do konca leta, da pridemo v polfinale. Ti si četrtfinale naslednji krog. Moraš priti na top 250. Polfinale, ajde, pa roka, Pinči, za face reveal. Ej, dober tek, Kotan.
They're looking real good now too. Always surrounded by trios. Always making sure someone else is taking the pressure and shots for them.
Piči, lej, do konca leta imamo šanse. Pač, dokler so trio FNCS, imamo šanse, da kvalamo enkrat do polfinale. Deal, evo, deal imamo, let's go, klipam, imamo deal. Berlinio, ima da sklačen tryhard na telefonu, jaz bom tu tryhardu. Abby, if we have a qual, for as long as there's basically to the end of this year, if we qual to semis in FNCS, in this one or next season, he does a face reveal. Zdaj pa grind, Brilliant, zdaj pa grind. Zdaj motivacijo, let's go! Ne, se že tako sem imel zdaj, ampak vsem. Malo to, ajde, malo to.
But this is gonna be, hey, the Zate Hill is always infamous for having some wild finishes, and it's dead here in Zone 4.
Vem, da je to težka, ne, ampak... Piči, ne bom trikrat tri omenil. Ja, Tavčar še vedno govori, a ti gre. Tavčar, ti bi lahko svoj merch, a ti gre? A tvoja faca, gor, tako.
That top 5, that top 3 as well. Versa and Fly, they've kind of been in between some of these top teams over and over, taken out slightly.
Ej, Brilliant, danes sem malo Ivano, Marinko tam v realistikih. Vem, da je Marinko, ampak full boljš sem se fajtil danes. Moraš pogledati, res, na trotu. Zjutri. Veš, kako lepše edit, da pa play sem delal. Še zmer ni top, ampak. Čaj, še dvakrat solo, Keška od igra, pa bo šla motivacija. Se zato ga ne bom igral, veš. Ja, no. Ja, vem divizija, ampak vsem. Pač, ne, divizija, veš kaj je problem, veliko realistike igram, a pa tako, ko se fajtam, prejemam preveč damage-a. Danes sem pa full take pike lepe delo, da sem full mal damage-a prejemal. To mi je všeč, da sem izboljšal. A res, ali kaj, Berlinja? Koliko si imel si 103, a ne? A zadnjo igra, ali kaj te en zgrif, ali kaj je bilo? TaySon je tretji zaenkrat. Ja, ej, Divinzi, dejansko z mehaniko sploh nimamo prav, pač. Mi samo endgame moramo popraviti, Divinzi, samo endgame. Če češ, Divinzi, nam lahko kaj pomagaš. Pač drugač full screamov igramo, res. Pač early game full dobro igramo, early game uničujemo. Mid-game tudi nimamo prav, sam endgame moramo še povadati. Endgame rabimo zboljšati, pa imamo lahko easy quad. Živo kotnik. Če kaj vidiš, lej nam komod pomagaš. Z veseljem. TaySon treba dobo kuj, let's go. Let's go. In to so Stormija ubili, to je dober. Ubili so Stormija v trio, to je zelo dober. To je zelo dober. A nas mrtu? Ne, nisem Anže. Staši te že blokil z razlogom, ne vem, kva smo pisal. 103 sem imel 50 vizov in me enkrat double kill in naj cel lobby začne sprejeti in oba umreva. Pa je bilo to že po 6. Berlinja. A imel on double kill game, pa je mogel hitar. Ampak ja, vsem. Slaba.
Causing some ruckus and then leaving before the cops come here. You know, the party started and they're already gone. And that is what's happening as you're seeing the rotation happy. Stormy right.
Stormy mora čim prej umreti. Čim prej.
Yes, he finds it. He's going to go ahead and glide on through. He's going to follow Bobby and Versa and hopefully not get beamed out of the sky. Look at this. What a great glide, but he has a lot of enemy builds to crack through.
Videl si bom, če bo sreča, spravazal kup v Galaxy Watch 3. Nice, nice. Staši, zakaj te pa bloku? Pa smo spemo. Zdaj, kjer pri-edit ima Kami, on ima arch na mestu na spodi. Kjer pri-edit je boljši? Mislim se po moje tako boje isto. Po moje. Gori jim. Ja, fire jih je, Grifu. Rip. Ampak to je dober, to je dober. Kami, Tik, Seti so prvi, drugi so bili, mislim, da Stormy. Tako da TaySonov trio ima zdaj pol šanse, da pride na prvo mesto. To je zelo dober. Mislim, oba sta še po en player živa, tako da lahko še klačata, ampak nimata neki... Bravo, Staši. Mislim, da ima TaySon s tem triatom veliko možnosti za zmago. Ja, pač jaz mislim, da ima TaySon s tem triatom več zmage, mislim, več šanse, da zmagajo, kot sprejšnjemu. Pač res so dobri. Pač oni so, individualno so toliko dobri, pa tudi tako, pač skupno res dobro igrajo. Evo, TaySon je tle. Za TaySon bo šel, okej, ni šel. Lepo se je tle sniku, sama itak samo 28 HP-ja. No je narab kill, da bi, če ne je dead. Upajmo, da je dead. Ne, Vino je nokan! Slaba. Rizon tudi! Sam še TaySon je spet živ. TaySon mora spet klačat. Ja, in zdaj ne vidim, a bo živ ali ne. Evo ga, TaySon je še živ. TaySon mora spet klačat. Živ patron. A bomber ili njo. Ajde, TaySon še eno klačat, koga prej. Še eno klačat, koga prej.
But it's Cammy to reap the rewards of it. If he gets 2 of these 50 pots off as well,
vse že navan, ja, vse to. Kotnik, koliko boš dal pol? Za uro, če 200 € znižena. Že to, da Kami tle zdajle dobiva tele. Kaj dumu je to? To me je kill štel. Okay. Ne, Cammy preveč klača. Cammy preveč klača. Preveč. Ok, dober je, umrl je. Kaj TaySon? A je TaySon še živ? Ja, je, TaySon je še živ, god. TaySon spet klača, Orang. TaySon spet Orang klača.
in his tracks. Mappy, Red Rush, and Exterios now. Another game.
Another
chance at high ground. Another chance at a victory.
TaySon.
Stolen from them today multiple times. They have an issue on that final.
Pač Kami je tle full klačo. Imel je 28 HP-a pa je na koncu. Ne nikoga ga on ni ubil. Kaj imel toliko malo HP-a. TaySon je umrl. 10 je bil po moje. A vaša to ne. Meni so šanso, da zdaj pride na prvo mesto. Mislim, da niso pršali, ker je Kami preveč klačal. Stormi pa ne vem, koliko so pršali. Ampak lahko da so drugi zdaj. 250, no to še zmer kar da. O, Red Rush pa te so živi. Oni so bili četrti. Oni bojo pršali pred TaySona, ja, to je ful slabo. Upam, da so hteli Stormija pa te, da so še zmer tretji. Kako je sam še ena igra po tele. Sam še ena. Ajde, folks, stisnite like. Pa ne pozabite porabiti kode ScorpLZ v item shopu, da ima TaySon še sreča. Ne, ampak s tem mi ful pomagate, tako da hvala vam. Živo k siliti. Živo rožle.
Yeah, the rest of the lobby looking to survive, but
te bojo zmagali. Pa še kar dosti killov imajo.
Mappy will be the designated healer for the moment. Shakeoff's taken down, but it's not them getting the elim. No, actually it is Exterios. Picks it up. Now comes the final drop down. 3v2.
3v2.
Here it is. Red Rush, Mappy, Exterios. Victor Royale on the line, and only 2 stand against them, and they're low on HP. The edit, the missed shot, the 40 tag, and the Victory Royale.
Upajmo, da so še top 3. Jaz v vsakem primeru itak še ena igra, ne, tako da. Ajde, da vas pustim zdaj zapora, folk, ne pozabite, da ga še uporabljati kode ScorpLZ v item shopu, pa stisnite like zdajle. Zdaj vas pustim iz zapora, pa da vidimo, dajte GG so chat. Ok. Ja, Red Rush pa te so zdaj pršali iz 4. na prvo mesto. Kami drugi, TaySon še vedno 3. Ampak je samo eno točko pred 4. mestom, pa 5. ima so 37 lej. Top 6 imajo vsi šanso še da kvalajo. Teli, zelo težko, no. Tako da, tale bo težka, ta bo res težka.
this is it.
Ta bo res težka. Pač Red Rush pa te mislim, da so že top 3 avtomatsko, pač ni šans, da vsi teli trije prehitijo. Pač pridejo na top 3, ne? Ni šans. Pač, jaz mislim, da so oni že Qual-al. Razen če te res vsi dobro odigrajo, ampak... Itak da bo Qual-al, lej, bomo videli. Tretji so. Pač zdaj so zasrali, TaySon je že dvakrat bil sam na konca, ne? Ne vem, kaj se je dogajalo, ampak ful niso, pač to je dosti slabo, ne, kar imajo tle. To, da so top tretji s tako igro je kar dober. Dej, tole, ja, vse to piše. Zdaj ne morate preživeti endgame, pa imajo to.
No, I'm really impressed as well, and I kind of go the same route as you with this, where...
Ti zdaj ne razumeš, kako qualifierji delujejo. Abi, I don't know. I don't know them. Kinsla ni. Ok, da vam razložim. Se prav, bomo tole malo botih. Da vam še enkrat razložim, ok? Se prav, lejte, bom šel tukaj na events. Ok, se prav, imamo FNCS qualifierje, to je tisto, kar tudi jaz igrama, ne? Se prav, imamo, to je qualifier 2, so 3. Tretji je naslednji teden, pa imeli smo enko, ne? Se prav, 3 qualifierji so, ja? In vsak qualifier ima, se pravi, imaš opens, to je tisto, kar mi igramo. Pol, če kvalaš, imaš četrtfinale. Če kvalaš v četrtfinale, greš v polfinale. In če kvalaš v polfinale, greš v ta finale, ki ga zdaj gledamo. Recimo, zdaj gledamo finale za qualifier 2. Ja? In tisti, ki so top 3 v qualifier 2 v finalu, oziroma v kjermokoli qualifierju, ki so v finalu top 3, grejo direkt v finale, ki je na koncu sezone pač. To so qualifieri in pol imaš pač prav veliki finale, kjer je denar noter, ne? Kjer je full denarja. Po pa še točke, po pa za ostale, a ne? Tisti, ki pač niso top 3, ti nabiraš series točke, a ne? Pinči, mislim, nekak je to, ne, v bistvu hiti so bolj polfinale, Pinči. Pač tako čuden je razlagati, no, ampak to so qualifier finale. To so qualifier finals v bistvu. In pol imaš pa točke, a ne? Če nisi top 3, dobivaš točke, a ne? Če prideš v finale, imaš toliko pa toliko točk, če prideš v polfinale, dobiš toliko pa točk. In pol top 99 triotov, a ne? 3 hiti so pol. Tisto je prav veliki polfinale. Jaz rečem veliki zato, da folk ni zmeden. Da vem za moj face reveal. Pinči, pač za tega sem mislil polfinale, ne? Pač ne to, kar danes gramo, ampak eno uno, ko so včeraj igrali, da so prišli od tega finala, da tega pridemo. Ok, ja. V bistvu so pol te hiti, a ne, 3 hiti so, vsak hit 33 timov, sprav, to so pa te series točke, a ne, tisti, ki niso bili top 3. In pol iz teh hitov, iz vsakega hita, ki igrajo, gre top 6 timov direkt v veliki finale, ja? Oni, ki so bili pa 7, od top 7 do 17 v teh hitih, pa igrajo pol na koncu še reboot round. Reboot roundov je pa 3, oziroma to sezono bojo 4, ker je TaySon scancel, ki bi mogel biti že avtomatsko v finalu, pa ima zdaj drug trio. In reboot roundi je pa samo, sprav, 4 igre so zdaj, 4 igre, in tam samo win šteje. Tiska zmaga gre direkt pol v veliki finale in pol v veliki finale. Tako, ful zakompliciran, ampak ja. Bravo, Pinči, bravo. Mislim, kotik, vse je, pač vse sanjske ure so dobre, vse to vem, to vem. Tako da ja, upam, da sem razložil. Kotik, ti vem, da si nisi. A Brinjo, nič mi nisi napisal. A ja, si mi. Ja, Brinjo, jaz tudi nimam drugačno, što imam to. Kaj me nekaj zajebava. Fuck off, Pinči. Pač zelo zakompliciran je, no, zelo zakompliciran. TaySon je 4, ne? TaySon je 3. Tretji so. Tretji so.
The last game in qualifier number 2, which trios will end in that top 3? It all comes down to this very moment in time. Now remember, if you land in 4th, that's still okay. Even placing top 10 is fine, because we're playing for the SPL, those series point leaderboards, okay? If this is on, grab your popcorn, grab the slurp juice, because we're jumping on the battle bus one last time from qualifier 2 here in the EU of the FNCS.
Koliko imaš ti uploada pa downloada? Jaz imam 300 downloada pa 100 uploada zdaj, mislim da, ali 350 downloada. Ne vem, Snipes. Zdaj bo zadnja igra, chat. Zdaj bo zadnja igra. Tako da, zdaj ne dam member only chat, dajte vsi srčko chat za srečo TaySonu. Če še niste stisnili lajka, stisnite like, skoro smo na Jurija. Pa ne pozabrav, kod je ScorpLZ na shopu. Kad pridemo na 2000 supporterjev vsako nedeljo giftam skine, okej? Ali pa soboto, kakorkoli. Vsak teden giftam en skin. Tako da s tem mi res folk pomagate. Zdaj že dolgo niso bili na 2 Jurija, tako da pač vam pol tudi lahko povrnem nazaj. Tako da hvala sem, ko pravite kodo. Evo, member only chat. Na kabel je boljši internet, res je. Zadnja igra, zadnja igra. Teli so prvi zdaj, ki jih zdaj spektatamo.
It is 6 teams looking for that first place slot, but there I think at least maybe 10, almost 15 who can go all the way and hit top 3. That's the you know, a little bit of place for finals overall. That's the overall.
Te je dobar da umrejo.
But 2 people down right now. Exteriors.
Redra še mrtv.
162 points is what they have so far, and what they might just end with, unless Mappy changes that.
Okay, Abby, I'll show that. Abby mi je poslal, da vam pol pokažem še eno sliko, kako deluje.
This is tragedy.
Okay, nice. To je dobar, to je dobar. To je dobar. Prvi so mrtvi, to je dobar. Piči, kvaj ni športno navijanje? Let's go. Kvaj je TaySon mrtv? Kvaj lažeš, Gičku? Kvaj lažeš? Kje si videl?
Our first place gone in a blink of an eye.
Dominant, man.
Pinči, na konc bom pokazal, na konc. Živanik. Itak da je akcija. Gičku, če kaj spoilaš, kad nismo videli to en streamu. Ja, sprdaš se. Jo, beno te bom. Evo, da hitar pokažem, ajde. Pinči ima prav, evo, lejte. Se pravi tole, a ne? Takole deluje, to so qualifierji, 4 runde so v vsakem qualifierju in top 3 grejo direktno v finale. Tle imate sliko. Ja, top 3 grejo direktno v finale. Pa top 99 timov iz teh qualifierjev grejo v hite. Vsak hit 33 timov, top 6 direktno v finale. Ostali, ki so bili od 7 do 17, grejo v reboot rounde. Ja, in je takole. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Reboot. In to je to. In samo ka zmaga gre naprej. Evo, na hiter.
Semifinals, finals, qual weeks. In the qual weeks, if you hit top 3, if you have enough points at the end of 6 games,
Pinči, ne, nisem videl.
top 3 overall, you get to skip everything.
Ampak to nisem jaz govoril za semi se tle. Jaz sem govoril za qualifierje semi se.
Uncontested drop spots. It's very good to have control and power, comfortability. Moving in and playing for, what is it in EU? Over $1 million cash prizes available, right? Like that is huge. So right now, the first team, Sancho said, is 162 points. That's how many points they had when all these games were
Pinči, jaz govorim o qualifierjih. Polfinale o qualifierjih smo govorili. Ne o velikih polfinalih, kakorkoli. To je top 250 je polfinale. Top 250 v qualifierju.
They need 20 points overall, which is doable if they make endgame and
ja, Pinči spreminja zdaj. Ne, Pinči, ne.
And when they do it,
Slav, sem prebral, pač lej. Jaz sem tudi včasih ful počasen. Čas slabš. Ajde, TaySonov trio zdaj. Ok, se pravi, prvi so dead, kar je dober za TaySona, če dober odigral. Sam še vedno so dosti spredi. Oni bi mogli samo malo bolj safe igrat, po moje. Ampak, klej, se zgodi. Kdo je drugi chat? Kami pa te so drugi, a ne? Oni morajo slovo odigrat. Ok, Pinči. Ej, tišina, lej, maybe. Maybe kaj lahko spet naredimo.
But at the same time, there still is a chance. These guys are all very good teams. You know, let's talk about their bad placements. When the risk.
Če sem videl, da so Ferrari v Fortu, Nik, to si tako zamudil en mesec. Vem.
That's not enough placement points with 3 elims to even, you know, make the gap from 140 to 162. For TaySon, Reason, and Vino, they've come 10th, they've come 11th.
Ajde, imajo to. Jure, lajko imamo, let's go. Hvala vam, hvala.
It's a different one where all the pressure's on the line. Anything can happen. For Seti Kemitik, they're flip-floppy, Sancho. They're on vacation right now. They're either coming in the top 3 or they're not even inside the top 10. So they have to make it the whole
Stormi, pa te?
or they don't even get the qual for the finals.
Aja, oni so četrti, a ne? Ja, eno piko za TaySonom.
On the line here. And we're all watching the elimination feed.
Ne, Matjaž. Veliki finale je šele konc tega meseca.
Hoping that there are 162. That's the golden number right next to the health and shield bar. Will that hold?
Ribnik. Skor, koliko je price pool? Ne vem, koliko je price pool.
Game 6.
Z.
Somebody comes from out of nowhere with a huge pop-off game, and it could happen here again.
Straight from outer space.
Ne, Pinči, tole je finale qualifierja.
I'm just thinking, like, Fast Roki.
Kaj pa je pol hit, Pinči? Kaj so pol oni hiti?
He was very close. He was very close. Let's talk about
Ti si tudi pol finale.
We'll be going through TaySon, we'll be going through
Ni uradno to
over and
polfinale.
over, but yeah, Bursa,
Ti so pa hiti.
Malabuka,
Ja, okej. Ne,
some of
pač
these
ne.
names might have an insane game here. And
Polfinale
might roll all the way
qualifier smo
through.
rekli.
A game on the line right now might be TaySon's.
300 price pool, okay.
Business as usual. Sometimes if you try to play too passive in game 6, you might just have
No, TaySon trio rabijo tele ubiti. Meta je low na White Healthu. Stran grejo. Stran grejo.
They'll smell for it, but they won't actually take a
Ne
bite
upajo.
out of the people behind them. As a result, though, TaySon starts getting fired upon. This could be bad.
Yeah, License Trio already knocked TaySon in a previous engagement here. So this is still very dangerous for TaySon, Vino, and Reason to take this fight here, especially when the top 3 is on the line. And iRes picked up a couple eliminations as well. Okay.
Ker prvi so že umrli. Če kam je trio za serije, TaySon trio pride nekje top 5 imajo. Top 3 kanač.
Is the one I'm looking alongside with Putrid.
Že tako tudi. Tle rabijo čim več tegov dobiti, čim več tegov rabijo.
always thinks they're super smart in terms of what's going down. They could be better than the pros.
Njihov teammate je tle v bushu. V bushu njihov teammate. Tega lahko dobijo še.
Storm Surge. Fortnite has a mechanic that doesn't let you just, fly by. You have to put effort into
God
these
snipe.
games.
Ne, en od membrov napiše klicaj Stormu, chat. Za tistega, ki ne ve, kaj je Storm Surge, da ScorpLZ bot razli, pa preberite, kaj napiše.
You're higher than the average of the server, or some of the lowest teams in the threshold. For this right now, it's 70 players. There's 77 alive, so you have to hit shots. And TaySon gets another one.
Nick, what? To ne bi smel dobiti v konce, če si zbol, ki si ragel. What? What? To za vas strinjam s Pinčijem. Ne rabite zdaj vsi. Ne, Vino in Okan!
This is so bad because TaySon is so far away and Reason will have to 1v3 waiting for this man to catch up.
Here it is. TaySon coming in for the backup to help him out. Reason is right now in a 3v1. There it is. Oh my goodness. But TaySon gets a huge tag against him. He's going to have to retreat back.
Za TaySon je tudi dosta tegov, ne sam.
This is the third place who's currently sitting at
Choke Vino, ja.
141.
Vino neki ne igra dobro danes. Prečkrat umira. Oj, dubu je. Reason je dubu enega. Reason je dubu njega.
So now it's a 2v2
situation.
Third
team.
But
Ne.
that trio is here, the third
Okay, launchajo stran, dober je.
He's gone. He's gonna ride out alongside with Reason. I think they got Vino's card, so can definitely bring back Vino.
Upam, da dobijo ta kill, Okay, dober je, rešili so se. Ne, launcha za njimi.
How did they get the card though? Where was the time when TaySon dropped in?
Zakaj lik na njih? Zakaj ne na une? Zakaj lik na TaySonov team? What?
Where the weak team actually is. They're pushing straight in and not letting these guys get the reboot on.
Zakaj lik na njih? Vejo, da je TaySonov trio to po moje, zato. Ka vejo, da če hoče Qual-al, da mora iti na njih.
Now TaySon's the target of 3 players who are looking to also finish top 3 today, and they might just grab that mantle with their own ARs, with their own hands, taking away the 3rd place team here at TaySon in a 1v3 against the team in 7th place. It's sights on their walls.
Yeah, and if Sky could kind of turn this around, it could be that opportunity to go ahead and sneak into the top 3 with the last fleeting moments of Game 6 here. TaySon trying to survive here, gonna dip into the hard match, jump into the car, hopefully get away. Oh no, hits the speed sign right there, and still doesn't get a huge tag. Jumps into another vehicle. He's trying to get away, and Leo jumps in.
TaySon še živ?
Fox fight breaks out. Etsy, I think he has a parasite on his head, but Leo, now it's 50-50. Oh, TaySon could not hold down Leo and Etsy. And now it's up to Reason just to get any kind of points here. The top 3
Ta third
is
party
right
je
now in
zasral.
shambles. First place already gone.
Ta third party je Orang zasral.
Second place of Seti, Cammy, and Teak are still the only
Koliko imajo te točke, so jih ubili? Pač ja, vedel so, da je to TaySonov trio in so šli rajš na njih. To je drugač dober karkoli. Če hočejo kvalat. Rizan dopustil se je to. Rizan rab tole čim bolj preživeti zdaj. Sam bo težka, to bo zelo težka. Zelo težka, tudi sam 11 bildoma. Ok, Nick, ok, nej ti bo, nej ti bo.
Every named POI you see, so if you see the name Coral Castle or Pleasant Park on the minimap at the bottom right, it has a reboot van. It's not
Abby,
Believer Beach. It's not
Reason went away so that someone would survive. They had no chance to 2v3 them with health disadvantage and mats and stuff.
But at the same time,
that's why.
One loss, he's still there. They're taking their
so that he can stay alive.
They don't want to make another mistake and be nonchalant about their
Te, ki so jih v bistvu imeli pred to igro 108 točk. Ja, oni pa skoraj nimajo šans, da kvalajo. Pa so jih pol grifali. O, rip. Čudno mi je, da niso one tam pušali, ki so ostali v boksu tam in so šli rajš pedat na te. To mi je drugač ful ni jasen. Ne vem, mogoče, ko so vedeli, da sta sam dva, ali neki. To mi je, da se noče medkita za vse sečaj, ampak dober. Verjetno ne rab medkita.
Center zone fast, just base up and hide. He's just looking for that reboot to get Vino back in the game.
Vino to lahko rebuta, sam TaySon na nazaj.
And it was today as well. It's TaySon clutching out as a solo at the end, right?
Abby, I think it's too hard, and also it's just a part of the game. I don't think.
With TaySon down, it's time for Reason and Vino to pick up that clutch slack.
Pač ne, grifanje ne morajo lih neki, odvisen. Pač tukaj se ne vidi, da so kakor tako šli, a ne, pač to ni. Oni so tam pušali, rabijo kile in tako naprej, a ne. Pač le ni bilo nič tazga, ker so oni naredili po moje, ne. Po moje, ne vem pa ne. Pač itak ne moraš vedeti, ne moraš to vedeti. A gre oni zalaž do enega, ampak lej, to je v igri, tako da. Da ne moraš nič narediti. O, ne, moče tukaj. Še vedno je eden tim manj. Ja, pač, zdaj, če Rizon tole klača, da oni dobijo pointe. Oni nujno rab točke dobiti, zato ker Stormi pa te imajo 145, 0 kilo, se pravi, TaySonov trio ima še vedno samo eno točko več kot oni, a ne? Oni so četrti, TaySon tretji. To je problem. Če imajo oni več točk kot TaySon, pa če Kami pa te preživijo, TaySon ni top 3. Nima veze moč. Mislim, Pinči, drugače obstaja, folk dejansko se zmen, ok, gremo te grifati, zato da oni ne morejo kvalati, a ne? Pač gremo za nalaž njih pušati. To se dogaja. Pa so točke, ne, ampak, ker jim ne gre dobro, grejo pozno nalaž provati enemu, drugemu uničati igro. To je zadnja igra, ja, to je zadnja igra. Evo, si ne telaj, gremo do igre 100, gremo do igre 100. Pač Stormi pa te ne smejo dobro igrati. Oziroma pač, to ne rabe toliko dobro igrati, ne? Rizon chilla v zonu. A šel sploh rebootat Rizon? A ta zon je full far, uf. Imagine, da ga en začne tle streljati zdaj.
Paranoia is at an all-time high when you feel like all eyes are on you
and
everybody was saying
ja, ne
that
bo
you
šel
need to
sploh tle.
qualify in this one, that it's going to be free, Believer Beach uncontested.
Ok, bandage je
I
nice.
did see in the feed a couple of that top 6
O,
picking
une
up some
tim,
eliminations.
une trio zdaj
We saw
rotira.
Leo's trio pick up an elimination and Puchek's
Rotira
trio
une trio.
who's sitting in 9th
Po moje bo
place
šel
in this
nazaj
match
v
picking up
Believer
eliminations.
Beach.
So people are
Rebootat.
moving from the top
Sam
10
zone se bo
closer
začel,
towards
jaz ne vem, če
top
lahko
3.
Rizon
And
sploh
just as
preživi
they
tole.
say that, Shizo eliminates
Slaba.
Putrek, so Shizo and then, but Malibukan, Murstache
Mislim, ja, Pinči, to je res, to je res. Sam veš kaj je problem, Pinči, pač to je Battle Royale. Battle Royale je ful težko to vedeti. Dejansko je nemogoče, če tako gledaš. Dejansko je nemogoče.
Spot if he goes down as well. Bobby Versa, I mean, these guys are in 5th place, Sancho. 137 points. They're 4 points behind Reason for the moment. They tried to basically move in. They were the reason he could not move and get that reboot, so I have to play a little bit more
Zakaj so bili
of that
tek
heel
tok
game
dolg
zone.
tukaj, mi
It is
drugače ni
fairly
jasen.
close by, it looks like, with the speed, but Reason's just in trouble.
To mora Rizon res.
Floppers in the world for Reason.
Vema, kdo da ni nujen, da bo top 3. To je zadnji gamer in ko. Juco, hvala ti za 1 euro, napisaj najjači si. Hvala ti za 1 euro, pa zares sporočil. Hvala ti, legenda.
154.
Hvala.
They have the ability to finish
Kako
first
si?
place, and that would be a great feeling considering that they really couldn't make
Nik,
it
kva si Mongrel
qualifiers,
zapustil,
and
what?
to be able to do it with the first place
So
finish
Mongrel je
in
full
week
skušal.
2 of the qualifiers, that would be fantastic for that trio going forward.
I feel like Kami Teak, Kiriachi, Bobby, doesn't matter. They're all safe. I want to still focus on Reason till I see his name inside the feed go down. He's still in the top 3. It's important.
Sad drugač, Babič, od Battle Royalov je Fortnite še najmanj RNG, zaradi buildanja pa tega. Tako, folk prav skozi v fully RNG, ampak še vedno top timi vedno performajo najboljš, ki dejansko lahko full. Evo ga, Reason, uf.
Look at this, right? So Reason walking in, if you got a chance to look at the mini-map, or even just this right now, which you're looking at in front of you, big bases with multiple, trios sharing them. They have a chance to basically look around at every single base, every single box, identify who's weak, who's strong. Reason can't build. If he builds a box here, it'll be very obvious he's a solo player, and people will find him out. He has to find places like this, rat corners underneath other people's ramps, inside the ocean to stay alive. He's finally
Dalj časa rabi živ, kakor Stormi pa te.
Any single trio, they can start
Ja mi Hexinja vseeno. Da greš direkt v veliki finale je zelo pomemben, pač se mi zdi.
Hide in natural terrain and somehow one pump 3 people. Sancho, if anyone can do it, it's Reason, but even then, that's a tall order.
Reason could pull a rabbit out of his hat, and he would still need to do more magic here to be able to make this happen, because he still has Kirachi's trio up on their feet.
Ja vem, Ana, vem, se ima še en tempo to v semisih, samo se. Dol, top 6 bojo, ni šans, da v hitu niso top 6, no po moje.
VIP. He's getting that. Okay, never mind. There it is. Someone finally saw him. But that may draw the attention of the rest.
Slaba, nima več. Nima več shieldov.
And slowly look for any kind of
Videl so ga po moje.
Okay, Bounty Hunter's on the way. Bobby's moving fast. He knows that Reason's by himself. He can't stop here. Gotta keep moving, and he can't build either. Every build will leave a few breadcrumbs behind for Bobby to follow. Now he sees the break. He's gonna keep shooting for it. Reason goes in between 5 different trios to try to buy a little bit of time, but he's out of hard mats now. As soon as anyone sees wood, it's over for him. Now he's down to the flimsiest builds he has available. This is 3rd place taken out at 146 points.
Če niso top 3, igrajo še naslednji teden.
So now you have 3rd place locked in.
Top 3 rabe biti za direkt v finale.
Kami's in trouble. And Kami is going to have to clutch again. 154. Kami taking out against the big names, and this is the opportunity to get in the top 3.
Mislim da, ja, niso top 3, niso top 3.
Or don't qual situation.
Niso top 3 več. Ne morajo biti. Ker Kami je še živ, pa so bili pred njimi. In pa Stormi pa te imajo zdaj več točk. Rip chat, TaySon, rip TaySon. Vedno, 2krat zapored so bili v polfinalu prvi, pa pol niso Qual-al. Na koncu bojo spet 4. Če bi oni, unfight jih je tam res. Tam po moje, ko so hotel dipat, bi mogli dipat. Pa bolj na zihar igrat.
Chapter 2, Season 3. He came in 11th place in the solo invitational.
Ja, GG
so that's
Kami.
what's at stake.
Če tam ne bi pušal, ama dobro, lej. Če sta Veno pa Riza, še 24 je mrtvo, ja. Pa tam je bil Veno nokana, ne vem kva je delal. Danes Veno ful ni dobro igral. Riza ne vem. Riza tudi ne, Veno pa Riza danes nisa pač. Že to, da so bili sploh zdaj le skozi top 3, je bil TaySon, ker je 2krat klačil.
And 154 is their next target. Right behind them, Bobby versus Fly. They're looking for it too. Kiriachi, though, still needs to stay alive. 162 is what Red Rush, Exterios, and Mappy are at. There's so many numbers being thrown at you, but we'll do our best to keep reminding you what to look out for.
To sta one dva bila danes nista dobro igrala. Ama dobro, lej. Ne moreš več skozi dobrega dnja.
We still have Malibuka as well. Malibuka is still on his feet as a trio. Could definitely have the ability. We've seen him pop off at height. So all is on the line here where he got 17 trios alive, 46 people, Zone 5 revealed. It's coming down to the wire, folks. Don't you go anywhere. This is Game 6, top 3, and of already we've seen our top 3
ne bojo bili top 3, nemogoče. Nemogoče.
It's all up to 4th place, down to 10th to see who can actually clap back for the moment.
Sam prvo igro so dobro odigrali, ko so zmagali. Kako malo dve Bazuki, če zasede dva placa? Malo razmišljaj, dva placa zasede in tukaj ima na dveh placih Bazuko. Sam tako ima narejen replay. Eno Bazuko ima, ne? Pa na dveh placih je. Zato. Limux, da nismo ti prej eno drugo slikco. A se meni sam zdi. Tu smo že več točk, ja. A če ja, niso, ne more biti top 3, ne more biti. Zdaj pač v hitih bi mogli prijeti naprej, ne, ker so bili vedno top 6, pa hiti so lažji kakor tole, ne. Tako da... Mislim, se itak je še trojka, qualifier 3 je še, tako da.
Are they going to go ahead and be aggressive, or they're just going to stay plant and wait for everyone to rotate? A couple of tags going in on a couple of gliders. But here we go, it is game 6, and we just entered moving circles. Bobby and Fly.
Da vidimo, kjer bojo top 3 pa šli direkt v finale, ajde, da vidimo. Ajde, Fox, stisnite like, stisnite like. In nadu ide 100.
To that top 3, and it's all up to Fly to clutch that out.
They've made top 3 now because Reason went down at 146 points. So even Toos with 149, they're inside the top 3. And first place is still going to be Red Rush, Exterios, and Mappy. Second looks like 154 overall. We'll see if Fly can just...
Kdo loše klača? A ja, Fly pa ti imajo 151 točk. On lahko klača, da kvalajo. A ne vidimo za Flya, ki je solo. Da klača, da kvalajo, ajde. Ok, rip. Rip.
Locked in at 151, and Toos Kirachi Stormright just crossed into 151 with that elimination and getting that placement point. Deceptos being the villain for Fly's run. That team is out, so it's now up to Toos Kirachi Stormright to solidify the top 3 placement here. And it's all about getting into the finals here to get them into that guaranteed spot for a chance to fight.
Oni ima še, Surge imajo.
Kirachi is down, and now it's up to Toos and Stormright. Stormright has been doing it as a solo. Look at that barrel stuff going on through, trying to crash in through.
Bendigan so dobil. Tuz je sam. Mislim, ja, ni še nujno, da kvala. Tuz mora zdaj klačat. Ka vem, da ene 6 timov je, ki so lahko kvalali. Mislim, ka imajo šanso, da kvalajo. Dobo je kill. Oh my god! Oh moj bog.
Down and out and eliminated.
Danes ga klačil.
157, the magic number for Toos, 154 for Cammy, who's been taken away so far.
A so te waflari pa te slučajno, da imajo tudi veliko točk. TaySon tweet, bom pogledal, TaySon tweet, bom pogledal. Bom pogledal, če. Zdaj ga nekaj omenil, gripa ne sam. Nimaš kaj tam. Tam oni ne bi smeli pušati unga tima. Mogel bi malo bolj safe igrat. Tege so dubal. Ok, ja, pa sej.
Taken out. This is the moment for Shoes.
Deli ne morajo nič kvalat.
But they need eliminations.
Je dober practice.
They have to use the factor, which is elims, to find a difference with every other trio in the lobby. Zestin's going down, SLO going down to the storm.
Ne, koliko imajo te na hajtu, me ful zanima.
Like Flies, every other player is dropping, and they finally find one onto Link.
Ne znam, če oni lahko klačajo, pa so zdaj top 3. A ja, tweet je, da je dober igral, pa ne ve kaj za reči. Aha. Mislim, ja, danes je TaySon dober igral. Pač Veno pa Reason nista dansa, ne? Danes sta oni dva zelo slabo igrala. TaySon je bil kriv, da so oni sploh imeli top 3, a ne, skos. Sam najslabši občutek je to, da si cel turnir top 3 in pol na koncu ven iz tega padaš. To je najslabše.
I believe 154 actually.
154. Yeah, 154.
He tries to move in.
A 154 točke zdaj na top 3. A sploh možno, da on to... Mislim, da je to nemogoče. Da on klača, ja, pa se ne more. Tu če vse ubije.
Faruka, but it's going to be a solo situation. 4 different trios alive, or 4 different teams, and 6 players, which means everyone is affected. Lots of solo players. This is definitely possible all the way on low. Low ground's elevation is changing slightly. Put aside very weak. A single edit will do the damage. Will have a shot in, possibly from Hookah. It's not going to be possible. Ramp to block the sight, the vision. No shots taken. Still surviving in the storm. 28k.
Hookah zdaj le full klača.
Very good from Hookah, but that's just the start. That's the beginning of this clutch story.
Sam še 2 tima sta, 1v3 je, tako da.
10 seconds. 1 team to face. 1v2 for Hookah.
Hookah and right now,
1v2 je, sorry.
I think Peach definitely has the win condition.
Peach tole zmaga.
It's getting close. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, Peach had the medi play in the back pocket.
Master je prišel do drugih mest na koncu. Te so imeli, kdek so zmagali, so imeli samo 56 točk. What?
It was all about that top 3 finish, Shayo.
All about the top 3, I believe Kiriachi
Ja,
is the
rip.
one who did the work all the way from...
Dajte vsi GG so chat, pa naslednjič, lej. Ne morajo biti skos na vrhu, bojo, lej. Itak bojo prišel v veliki finale, to sploh ne dvom. Ajde, vsi GG so chat. Da vidimo na konc. Red Rush pa te so ostali na prvem mestu, Kiriachi, Stormy tu so bili drugi na konc, Kami tretji. Deli, Fly pa te so bili pol četrti, TaySon peti. Jo, če trip. Če sam ne bi unga tima pušal, pa bi imel. Ampak, glej, vse zgodi. Vsi pravijo Veno tweet. Aj, gremo pogledat Veno tweet. Gremo pogledat, kaj je tweetno. Veno. Kako ima on sploh? Je to on.
The way that you cast games. I mean, boys, they bring the hype every time, every week. But my goodness,
Pa?
a curse.
Veno je napisal, da je bruhal 3-krat, preden se je game 1 začel.
When it comes to TaySon and
Ne mu bo, če je bolan, ne mu bo, ampak vsem.
first, we got to talk about our top 3 trios.
A kva hočete, da skozi te tweete gledam od vseh? Kaj še od vaše mami tweet pogledam?
Red Rush, Stereos and Mappy from nowhere. Literally having a game 3
Ne vem, Rizan je rekel...
game 5 coming in hot, victory royale, and then just keeping
On je tweetal, da igra zelo dober zadnje čase. What? Ne vem, danes ni neki dober igral. Sam ne vem, no.
Talks about how, as a team, you want to have that turnaround. There is always that
Yeah, okay.
in this type of a format, and they did, right? Obviously, the next game they only got 9, but then to win that game with 11 eliminations, and obviously you talk about curse, right? We actually did almost see that play out, right? Where
Ja, folk pravi kao Veno. Vsi pravijo Veno. To je brez veze, pač taki tweeti so full slabi, ker sam pač s tem, kaj je on tole tweetu, vse, kar bojo dobilo tega, je hate na Venotu in bo Veno v mental state šel sam na slabš. To je pa, če se res, ta Twitter, to je...
Huge performance for them, and look, like you mentioned, they were eliminated off spawn in that final game, but
But-
because they had such a big performances in the other, 2 top 2 finishes, a second
A res, Shadow.
with almost
God,
double
God.
elimination.
Če, ne bom več tweetov gledal, dost je. Dost je, dost tweetov, dost. Ne bomo gledali.
And almost uncharacteristic of them, I talked
Mislim, da
about
TikTok še vedno zmaga. Ne vem, kaj je slabš, TikTok ali Twitter.
mine for me. It's just very
Ne vem, stari.
I didn't expect
Oboje je.
them come in like the way they did, but genuinely an impressive performance.
Kaj Veno je napisal, da je TaySon tako liv okol. Uf.
Finals, they will be
TaySon to ne bi smel delati, če je res to naredil.
today. A brilliant performance.
Galus ne da pil svedo.
Right? Like, there's going to be
Nice,
practice to go
Nick,
back and watch
nice.
in terms of seeing how they're able to actually do this, because now
Živijo Slurpee Fama.
You're going to want to try replicate that kind
Facebook.
of performance from these guys. Incredibly consistent.
You do have to remember, however,
Ker so
they
pač-
qualified from Bony Birds.
Večina socialnih omrež je tako, no. Tako. V Sloveniji sploh, ker ne more biti nadzorovana.
Really, who are already positioned up in that drop.
A ne, Rotrix, ne bom.
No, they will.
A zdaj igrati še malo ono Ghost Hunter, ki je res jaka. Če, jaz moram editati en video. Jaz moram editati en video, nujno zdajle. Tako da ne moram zdajle žal dol streamati, ker mislim, da je bož, da zdaj tam, kako zgleda moj dan pa to. Ja. In če ti bi bil uspešen, ti tako, definitivno. Definitivno. Kaj je Icon, ja? Kaj ja? Edit on stream. Ma fora je, če na streamu editam, boste videli, kako video zgleda, poj brez veze. Pač nima smisla, da na streamu editam. Res ne. Tako da ja. Ej, hvala drugače sem, ker ste stisnili like pa to. Pa še ne podajam, ne pozabljam, kod je ScorpLZ na shopu, s tem mi res ful pomagate. Tako da res vam hvala. Lega pinči. Ajde, zmenen. Jutr do povdne ful razmišljam, da bi Warzone igral, ne vem. Kaj je... Bom videl, kaj bom še jutr dopolne. Bom naložil Warzone, čez noč pa bomo videli. Daj, sam napište, kaj je TaySon tweetal. Ma dobro, grem pogledat, daj. Sam ne bom pokazal na ekranu. Ne vam bo, no. Kepinč je napisal trama. Kaj ti to? Čak, TaySon je isto tweetu kokar Rizon. I played really good today, I don't know what I can say. Isto je tweetu kar Rizon. Pa, zakaj? Ampak ja, ne vem zakaj, oni so trio, to se strinjam. Benji je pol reply v TaySonu, da on pač ne direktno blama svoje igralce, a ne. Pač, jaz mislim, da pač taki tweeti vse, kar naredijo, je poslabšajo trio. To je zelo slabo. Jo, chat, kaj mi toliko težite s tem v Twitterjem skozi? Ja. Može TaySon, može tweets and replies, da vidimo. To sem videl. Kva, se ni nič tako. Ne vem. Daj skrin, da vidimo, je nič ni tazga chat. Sej Benji ima prav, Ana, se vem, da ima. Običajno tvoje tvite, ker se kvati zbrinjam. Sam res, če se nekomu zbrinjam, to bom napisal Man, I played so good today, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say. Ne, zdaj vas. Ampak ja. Yeah, they should go in private call, ja. Pač ful se mi zdi, ne vem. Ne smejo oni to tvegati. Mihajsino, kaj to spemaš? Čaj, ne bomo nič pogledali več. Konc tweetov, okej? Folk, jaz bom tukaj končal, okej? Daj se napisati, da nisem igral kot ekipa, pol kasneje, res je. Ampak vsem, ne smeš takih stvari tweetati, to ne dam prav TaySonu in Rizonu. Če tako stvar tweetaš, sam slabo boš vplival na svojo ekipo. Čet, ne smejo dropati Venota, no? Pač dosti dober igral. Še vedno, vsakič so bili v polfinalu prvi, še vedno so god trio. Limus, kva to spemaš? Kva vi kar ene stavke neki spevate? Kaj je odgovorim na to, Limus? Hvala ti ne zdrgač. Ampak ne tega pisati toliko. No, enoč folk. To je to z moje smeri. Smeri. Ne vem. Jaz bom šel zdaj editat video, tako da hvala vsem, ki ste gledali. Jutr imamo trio skečka, jutr bo stream ob 5:30 na YouTubeu. Zjutraj ob 11 na Trovotu, okej? Če me še ne followate na Trovotu, da je klicaj Trovov chat, skoro gang bot vam da link, okej? Tako da na Trovotu še ne vem, a bo kakšen Warzone, a pa bom kaj Fortnite, ne vem. A pa pol. Možno je, da bom začel Warzone, pa pošel malo Fortnite, okej? TaySon ni Qual-al patron. Tako da to... Ja. Zdaj grem pa editat video, pa se vidimo jutr. Ajde, čau folk, uživajte, lahko noč.